Digital radio.
FM.
Online at BBC Sports Scotland.
Your smart speaker.
And on BBC Sounds.
This is Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
Good afternoon, you're listening to Open All Mics on BBC Radio Scotland. Some big games across the country this afternoon. We've had the team news from Ibrox, from Dens, from Easter Road, from Paisley, from McDermott Park, and also in the Championship from Firhill. We're covering two games in the Championship this afternoon. Let's get to Caplow. My goodness, a big one there this afternoon. Morton at home to Inverness. Cally Thistle there for us. Kasim Sheikh.
Good afternoon. Fourth place, Greenock Morton will take on ninth place Inverness Cally Thistle. Dougie Emery takes on Duncan Ferguson. Should be a cracking fixture ahead here. I've got some team news for you. Greenock Morton have started with a 4-2-3-1. McDonald in goals, French at the right, Baird and O'Connor in the middle centre, Straff at the left side, just ahead of him on the right, Power, and then Blues. Three ahead of them on the right hand side, McGrattan, Crawford and Garrity, and Muirhead up front. Greenock Morton will be hoping he can continue his goal scoring success this season. And then looking at Inverness Cally Thistle, 4-4-1-1 they've gone with. Rogers in goals, Duffy at right back, Carragher next to him in the centre, Devine and Savage at left back. Just ahead of them, Harper at left midfield, Anderson in the middle, Kerr to the right of the midfield, and then right hand side McAllister. Billy Mackay, the captain, will play just ahead of them. He's been in good goal scoring form, so hopefully he'll be able to continue that for Inverness. And Samuel will play the lone man up front. Should be a good game. Thank you very much.
Yeah, looking forward to Cassim. Inverness Cally Thistle currently occupy the playoff spots with big things required in the remaining games for Duncan Ferguson's side. Big things required for the away side. Stephen Craigan at Ibrox this afternoon. After that dreadful start Hearts made last weekend, they never looked like being in the game at all. It's so important. It's a positive start for Stuart Kettlewell's team.
Well, that'll be in the back of the mind of Stuart Kettlewell and his players. But on the flip side, Philip Clement will have given the message to his players and almost just using that as evidence for this weekend to say, if we break the resistance early, if we break their spirit early on, the game can open up, the floodgates can open up, and we can go and enjoy the game and run amok. So it'll be interesting to see how they both start. Motherwell have, there's only a minute gone, but they're wanting to play the game in the opposition's half. Defenders are not taking a touch on the ball, they're just hooking it on, trying to keep the ball away from their own goal, trying to put Rangers on the back foot to see if something can happen.
Yes.
Magnificent goal for Aberdeen. Conor Barron from 25 yards. Duke down the right hand side, cuts it back. Barron lashes it into the top corner. Hemming no chance, just stood and watched. What a start for the Dons.
Oh, what a wonderful goal that is, Willie, to kick-start your afternoon.
Frame that bit of joy, frame it, keep it, get on your ringtone, Willie.
What's all the fuss about?
I just hope you've not peaked soon, Willie.
That man Duke that would have got a place in the Hearts team. Magnificent down the right-hand side.
Then they pick players for the bottom six.
Goal at Caplow, Cassim.
Billy Mackay, the captain, as I just mentioned, has just put Inverness Cally 1-0 up here against Greenock Morton. What a start.
Yeah, terrific start. I saw it in the media this week. He had a tough time actually getting some abuse after missing a penalty last week, some abuse from the fans. He hit back, quite rightly so, to Billy Mackay. And my goodness, he's shown what he can do again this afternoon. He is prolific across the Scottish leagues. He gets that opening goal in 2 minutes. Greenock Morton 0, Inverness Cally Thistle 1. What a start for them. What a start for Aberdeen. Well, we've just seen that goal coming into the studio. Again, I'm guessing, despite the poor form, they're in a huge travelling support there today.
There is, yeah. They're obviously that cheered them up, that strike so early in the game. But it's probably what's been missing as far as Duke's concerned. You know, he's got that pace. He used it there.
Goal!
You know,
Yeah.
Oh, it's a goal! And it's Partick Thistle who have taken the lead here against Dundee United. Brian Graham at the far post. And it was a corner kick on the left side. Came out, nodded back into danger area. 2 or 3 heads were up, but I'm sure Brian Graham get the last touch on the line. Knocks it over. A stunning start for Partick Thistle. A stunning start for Dundee United for all the wrong reasons.
My goodness, that's an incredible start to Scottish football this afternoon. St Mirren 0, Aberdeen 1. Conor Barron in the first minute. Morton 0, Inverness Cally Thistle 1. Billy Mackay in the second minute. Kelty Hearts 0, Hamilton Accies 1. Jake Davison would open the there on 3 minutes. And as Chick was just telling us, what a start for Partick Thistle at Firhill this afternoon, Leanne. Obviously, he'd have been delighted, Jim Goodwin, with that comeback for Arbroath last night. But he knows the pressure is still very much on. We've had United fans on. We had one last week. He has got to deliver the title.
He's got to, and that's the thing. And he won't get any praise. He won't get any pat on the back until he delivers the title. I've said that throughout the championship season. The pressure's on today, but it's never an easy game at Firhill, especially when Brian Graham's in the side as well. He's got so much of an influence in the games. And Partick Thistle have also had their run of poor results that they've fallen away from being able to really keep in the coattails of Wraith Rovers. So for them this afternoon, it's a big afternoon. It'll be a massive result in the championship if they could turn Dundee United over.
Yeah, Queen of the South 1, Stirling Albion 0. Alex Ferguson with the opening goal there on 6 minutes. An injury concern there at Ibrox, Stephen?
Yeah, it was just a little nudge in the back from Bevis Mugabe on the back of Cyril Dessers, and I've got to say it was like a pantomime playing out after that, because Dessers stayed down for 30 seconds, then the physio came on. I think the physio was called on by the referee Alan Muir. The minute the physio came on, Dessers got up and said he was fine, so Alan Muir made the physio go off, but he was pointing his finger, he was really having a go at him, and Alan Muir had to go and tell him to zip it and get on with his job. So it was certainly entertaining to say the least. But yeah, Cyril Dessers is back up and fighting fit.
And just confirmation that Brian Graham goal coming through in the 3rd minute. Partick Thistle 1, Dundee United 0. Let's then continue around the grounds. What a start this afternoon on Open All Mics. Let's get to Dens Park. Dundee against Kilmarnock. What's happening in the early stages there, Rory?
It's been lively enough. There's been one half chance for Curtis Main. It was on Beck down the left hand side. He ran half the length of the pitch and crossed one in, and Curtis Main managed to get a good contact on it and flick it. It was comfortable for Will Dennis. He caught it, then fumbled it. The ball went back the way, but it didn't have enough pace on it to go over the line. So a little bit of a shaky moment from Will Dennis. It's been a good match so far. Nobody can't really tell at this stage, who's on top, but certainly looks like it's going to be a cracker.
Spartans 1, East Fife 0. Cammy Russell, the opening goal there on 4 minutes. Let's then get to Billy Dodge. He is at Easter Road this afternoon. Hibs against Ross County, Billy.
Yeah, Hibs have started the better team. They've got the multi-ball system. Most teams have it, but they're really trying to get the tempo up, put Ross County to the sword this early. No chances created yet, but they'll get plenty of the ball and try to speed up the game, Kenny, but still 0-0.
What a start for Aberdeen in Paisley this afternoon. Will anything at all but with a fight back from the home side?
Oh, not yet, but there's plenty of time left for that, and I'm sure they'll be desperate to get back in level terms. But what a strike it was from Conor Barron. It was quite magnificent. It was one of these ones that almost seemed to go in slow motion. I actually thought it was going by the post until you see the net rippling. The crowd were shouting for him to shoot. I don't know if it was in his mind or if that made his mind up for him, but what a strike it was, right in the top corner. Hemmings just stood there and watched it sail past him. A magnificent start, just probably what they needed, in a ground that they haven't been very successful in the past.
We've got all the games coming into the studio this afternoon in sports, and Alan Preston. Looks a glorious day up there in Perth. How's the game started?
No, Kenny, nothing really happening. It's a lovely day. It's very, very cold, but really nice, and a bigger crowd than normal. I think it's Ladies' Day here in Perth at St Johnstone, so there seems to be a slightly bigger crowd. Both sides not prolific goal scorers, as you know, but St Johnstone getting that fine victory. And it's the first time I think Craig Levine's picked the same side 2 games in a row, so we'll see how that goes this afternoon. Speaking to Davey before the match, he was saying that if he can get to within 6 points at the split, he still fancies his chances to keep them in the league, but it's getting to that time where they're only 6 behind.
Yeah, it's going to be a real struggle, you'd have to say. Montrose 1-0 up at home to Alloa. Blair Lions with a goal there on 7 minutes. We had a big discussion earlier on. We had a lot from Neil Warnock and the pressure he is under at Aberdeen, the pressure the football club is under to start delivering some results. They're certainly on course this afternoon. Rory, I know you wanted to come in on that debate. You watched a lot of Aberdeen, particularly in Europe this season.
Yeah, one thing that I always pick up on with Neil Warnock's press conferences, which annoys me, is we talk these days about controlling the controllables. What can you actually have an impact on? And he constantly talks about things that he simply cannot impact. He talks about the height in his team. Oh, good save, Will Dennis. It's a good strike from Josh Mulligan on the edge of the box. Takes a wee deflection, goes out for a corner. Still 0-0 though. He constantly talks about things he can't. The height of his team, the character in his team, the fact that he's got no bite in the team, no voices now. In my opinion, that type of leadership quality, it comes naturally to you. And he always emphasises these things, and it's things he can't control. He knew what he was getting into, and as Willie says,
we've got a goal at Ibrox. And you can tell it's silent. It's big Theo Bear. Oh, it's a free kick in the halfway, and it's a simple ball over the top. I'm not too sure who makes it. It's possibly Jack Vale makes a run. John Suter makes an absolute hash of it. He doesn't make contact with the ball. Vale goes into the box, squares it along to Theo Bear. 11th league goal of the season. It's early stages, but there could be an upset on the cards. Motherwell have started really well, I've got to say. Playing in the opposition's half. Rangers had a little flurry when John Lundstrom went down the side, in behind, and Stephen O'Donnell cleared. Cross came into the box, but this is a real shock. I didn't give Motherwell any chance. I don't even know if the players give themselves a chance after watching Rangers the last 2 games, but they lead by a single goal to 0 after 8 minutes.
What happened to feed the bear, Craigs?
Listen, I've ran out of puns. I've poked him, I've fed him. Listen, as long as he scores, I don't care what we do with him, but there you go.
John Suter is really questionable for that. Craigs defensively gets himself in a right pickle. He goes right in close, I think it is, against Jack Vale, ends up in his backside. But take nothing away from the finish from Theo Bear. Really calm. To think this was a guy that couldn't bag a goal at St Johnstone. You just said, what, his 11th goal of the season?
Yeah, and I think we touched on it before, that he was ridiculed and mocked and people laughed and thought, what's Stuart Kettlewell doing? Theo Bear can't do anything. Callum Davison was on the programme one day, remember, and he said he came in a trial game and he scored a hat-trick, and he thought, wow, I've landed someone. It didn't work out for him under Callum, it didn't work out for him against St Johnstone, but Stuart Kettlewell has got something from him that no other manager's got, and he's banging in goals. He's got all the attributes to be a top striker. So, but talking to John Suter, he had a little error on Wednesday night as well, didn't he, when he got his feet tangled up and Jack Butland had to make the big save at 1-0. So John Suter, I always think, has got a little slip in him somewhere along the line, so he'll be disappointed with how he's defended that.
Yeah, what a scoreline there. Motherwell 1-0 up away at Ibrox. Theo Bear with the opening goal there on 9 minutes. Can they hang on, Leanne? It's a big question, of course, but Rangers had to show some real grit midweek at Kilmarnock. They could have been 2 down at the start of the second half, but for a great save from Jack Butland. Just watching that again, actually, could he have done a bit better, do you think?
Possibly, but he's left completely exposed. I think Theo Bear is unmarked inside the penalty area, but what a huge save it was from Butland midweek, because if it goes 2-0, I'm not convinced that Rangers get anything out of the game, in all seriousness, because I think it completely swings it for Kilmarnock. I don't think Philip Clement will be keen on his side making a habit of this, though, going behind in games and now having to get themselves back in the game. You can hear even Craigs' Aries at Ibrox, but it's very, very quiet. Normally you can always tell when Rangers or Celtic's in the front foot in games, because you can hear the crowd and the momentum swaying. But
sorry, Desmond's through 1-on-1. Oh, what a really heavy touch. The flag goes up late, but even so, it's a simple ball over the top. Bevis McGabby was trying to get out. It looks as if he's got out in time, but Dessers is through. His first touch just lets him down, whether it's offside or not. If you're a striker who wants to get goals, you've got to show real composure and intent when you go through, and the goalkeeper Stephen O'Donnell eventually cleared, but the referee's assistant flag went up.
Craigs, what type of striker did you prefer to play against? We look at the options right now between Silva and Dessers. Who would you prefer to play against, given what they both offer?
I would probably have preferred Cyril Dessers because he's more physical.
Yeah.
Whereas Fabio Silva would drop off and pick up little pockets of space, and you wouldn't know where to go tight, you wouldn't know where to drop off. He's got a trick in him, he's got a skill in him. Whereas Cyril Dessers wants to stand against defenders and fight and scrap and win headers. So when you're a centre half who's of that similar mould, then I'd have preferred that. Anyone with no pace kind of suited me.
Well, what a start for Motherwell this afternoon at Ibrox. 1-0 up thanks to Theo Bear with that goal on 9 minutes. Let's get back to Easter Road and to Billy Dodds. Billy, I'm just thinking about the criticism that Nick Montgomery received from a lot of pundits, a lot of Hibs fans, in terms of being very rigid with his formation. Talk to us about the set-up.
Oh, it's a goal! Goal for Dundee!
Yep.
They take the lead, and it's actually go down as an own goal from Will Dennis. It's Scott Tiffany on the left-hand side. He works his way inside the defender, who looks like he may have slipped. Leanne will maybe be able to tell us. His shot ricochets off the post, hits Will Dennis on the back, goes over the line for 1-0 Dundee.
Yeah, it's a good start from Dundee, Rory. I'm just trying to hopefully get another replay of it here. I see the ball going into the back of the net. Do you reckon it's come off the post and hit Dennis on the way back in?
That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, I'll hopefully get a better look at it now.
Big game for their top 6 aspirations, isn't it, Dundee?
Yeah, it is. And just on Kilmarnock, Armstrong and Kennedy are so good for them, but the way they're playing, I had them down as a 4. They're playing 3 at the back. Corey and Dava's playing in midfield, and Armstrong and Kennedy are being pinned back the pitch for basically since the game started, the opening 15 minutes or so maybe he needs to tweak something, Derek McInnes, I don't know, but they've not had any attacking impetus so far, and Dundee probably deservedly lead.
Nah, you're spot on, Rory. It comes back off the post, and unfortunate for Will Dennis, because it's just been able to sneak in at that front post. Nothing really the goalkeeper can do about that coming back off him.
Great start for Dundee there. What a start it's been to life as Queen's Park manager for Callum Davidson there. 1-0 up away at Airdrie this afternoon. Dom Thomas with a goal there on 13 minutes. Let's get back then to Easter Road. Billy, just talk to us about the shape, the setup with this Hibs side this afternoon.
It's that 4-2-3-1. I don't think he's changed much because he still wants to play from the back. He still wants to get things going pretty quickly. They've started this game with a good tempo. It's just that confidence factor. I mean, after losing to St Mirren here, they took some dog's abuse, and that's why you're asking me the question, Kenny. But they lost to Celtic, unluckily. Celtic scored late, and then the form since then, going up to Inverness in the Cup, has sort of turned it for them, and that's brought the confidence. And same sort of set up, the method's the same, but you can see the players. Mariah Wells just in front of me, a Brophy who's trying to stand in front of him, stop a free kick being taken, just shoved them out there, want to get it, get a throw and just go and take it quickly and keep the tempo up. So the confidence is flooded back into the team. Nick Montgomery's not changed his way. He's believed in his process, his methods, and it's working so far since that St Mirren game where he was taking pelters.
Billy, in terms of taking pelters, there's been a lot of flack come the way of Neil Warnock. What are your thoughts on I'm thinking more the communication, the things he's saying in interviews, having a go at some of his players?
I did a couple of interviews during the week. I just think sometimes he thought, well, I've come to a club and I think they've got enough, and I'll go there and have a jolly good time and just get a few wins, keep my reputation up of going and fixing things. And for me, he might have just underestimated it a little bit. Underestimated Scottish football in particular, how tough it can be at times, how punishing it can be at times. It's a brilliant start from him today. I'm glad for Willie's sake. He sounded demoralised at the start of the programme, but it's picked him up a wee bit, hasn't it? So, but I just think, Kenny, where you heard him in his interview. He said at the start of it, it's a lovely little ground, St Mirren. I think if you know about Scottish football, you know things like that, and you know what you're going to. You know that St Mirren in good form, he knew that, but I just think he's underestimated the full product up here, and I think it's caught him out. So he better get going quickly, because I think they'll do plenty to stay out the relegation, the automatic, but you don't want to get in those playoffs. I said in the interviews, I've been there before, it's horrible, especially the pressure intensifies because you're at a bigger club if you're down there, and some of the players looked as if they couldn't handle it, so they've got to be careful they don't get caught up in that the relegation playoff spot, because it's horrible. And a club like Aberdeen, Willie said at the start of the programme as well, they simply shouldn't be there.
Billy, can I just ask you quickly, as having managed, a few managers I worked under, they like to create almost a siege mentality, everyone against us, and that's kind of how he started, saying we'll no be favourites going to Kilmarnock, etc. But if you're going to do that, the siege mentality needs to be as a group, and they're all together. So he's so critical of his players in the press. Do you not think that that's working against him as well?
It can do, and that's why he's got to be careful. I wouldn't be saying that if I was Neil Warnock, especially at Aberdeen. I'm sure Willie agree with me. I don't think you hand that to, no disrespect, lesser clubs, Rory, where you go, their favourites. I don't think if I was an Aberdeen fan, I'd be happy hearing that, because I know where they are now. I know the predicament they're in.
It's off the line. It's deflected over the bar. Long ball. This is for St Mirren. Big opportunity. Not too sure who it is that got the touch, but Kel Roos seemed to fumble it, in my opinion anyway. It went onto the post. It came off the post. It was
chance
across the face of the goal, and then eventually deflected over the bar. Big chance for St Mirren there, and Aberdeen lucky to survive.
It's the best chance of the game so far, and it's just played through. I'm not sure who had to pass, maybe Venta into Abita. He hits the first time strike. Wickens spills it, and Marcondes is onto it. He goes round the goalkeeper, and I'm thinking he's rolling it into the empty net, and Wickens makes a great recovery to touch it round the post. Good save.
Brilliant save, Billy. Really good. Marcondes, he just doesn't get enough of a contact on it, to be fair. He gives the goalkeeper a second bite at it. Good footwork, right enough.
Newcastle have got a goal up at home to Wolves. Isak with that goal on 14 minutes. Edinburgh City 0, Cove Rangers 1. Connor Scully on target again. That goal on 15 minutes. Kelty Hearts 0, Hamilton Accies 2 now. Akeem Rose with the second of the game there on 17 minutes.
Kenny, we've got a possible penalty check on the back of that opportunity for St Mirren. So they're checking it out just now. It's just been announced that it is a penalty check, but they're playing on. So obviously, you know, it didn't materialise for them, but a big opportunity they had there.
Yeah, I can't even help you, Willie, because I've not had a great view at it, but I'll keep an eye out if it gives us anything.
Officials. So is that the officials feeling a little bit sorry for St Mirren just checking for penalties because they didn't check for one on Tuesday night? Horrendous decision. Do you know what that is?
It's been a bad week.
Lazy officiating.
Yeah.
See if a player's lazy on the pitch, there's a chance that there's going to be a mistake happen. And I think that it was Greg Aiken was lazy in VAR. He didn't check everything. Because see, once you see that second time around, you see live and pleasing in the eye, live, and then you see the replay, you know it's a penalty right away. So if we can see that at home, how come they cannot see that in the VAR room when they've got ultimate or numerous cameras? I think it was a horrendous decision.
Yeah, no excuses at all. There have been some poor decisions across the week, no doubt at all about that across Scottish football. Let me just give you the latest scores then. It's been a busy 20 minutes or so. Dundee 1, Kilmarnock 0, Hibs 0, Ross County 0, Rangers 0, Motherwell 1, St Johnstone 0, Livingston 0, St Mirren 0, Aberdeen 1. In the Championship, we had that great game last night, of course, at Gayfield. It finished 3-2 to Arbroath this afternoon. Airdrie 0, Queen's Park 1, Dunfermline 0, Ayr United 0, Morton 0, Inverness, Cally Thistle 1, Partick Thistle 1, Dundee United 0. In League 1 this afternoon, Edinburgh City 0, Cove Rangers 1, Falkirk 0, Annan Athletic 0, Celtic Hearts 0, Hamilton Accies 2, Montrose 1, Alloa 0, Queen of the South 1, Stirling Albion 0. Into League 2, Bonnyrigg Rose 0, Stenhousemuir 0, Clyde 0, Elgin City 0, Dumbarton 0, Peterhead 0, Spartans 1, East Fife 0, Stranraer 0, Forfar 0. And in England, Brentford 0, Chelsea 0, Everton 0, West Ham 0, Fulham 0, Brighton 0, Newcastle United 1, Wolves 0, Forest 0, Liverpool 0, Spurs 0, Crystal Palace 0. 5:30 start, Luton at home to Aston Villa. Alan Preston, why don't you kick us off with this one? We heard earlier Gianni Infantino, the FIFA president, is in Scotland. There was an IFAB meeting talking about potential changes to the laws of the game. We'll go round our pundits, Alan, but if there's one thing you could change in football, what would that be?
I think on offside, Kenny, at the moment, if a part of your body is offside, that's it. But I would like to see if there's a part of your body that's onside, the goal would count. So take it the opposite way, so we would maybe see more goals. So if your back foot's onside, if your back foot's onside, that's a goal.
Yeah, and your body's onside, Alan. That's what you're saying. Yeah. You know, if it's a fingertip or a toenail or whatever. Yeah.
As long as something's onside, doesn't matter what, you know what I mean? As long as part of you's onside, because you get more goals that way. Because we're looking at now toenails being offside.
I'll tell you, just to add to that, Alan, something I've thought about in the past. It's the part of your body that scores. If it's onside, that maybe might simplify it, I don't know, but a part of your body that scores. If your left foot's offside and you score with your right foot, it stands. Yeah. Just to try and you're right. We need more goals.
I think you're just trying to make it more difficult for referees there, guys, to be perfectly honest.
Listen,
they're struggling with the rule just now.
Exactly. Well, they make it hard enough for themselves without me adding to it, believe me.
Fulham 1, Brighton 0. Harry Wilson with opening goal there on 21 minutes. Willie, what would you change?
Well, you've got to do something about the handball, haven't you?
Yeah.
In the box. That's the one that really, I think, upsets most people. And there's got to be some form of intent in my mind if you were going to change it, rather than just, you know, if your arm's out of your body line shadow, that it's a penalty. You know, if there's some intent, it's in. It's a tight angle, and it's cleared for a corner kick. But for me, you know, if you're jumping up, and your arm, you've got to use your arms to jump anyway. Everybody knows that. And if it hits your arm and you're jumping up and you're trying to head the ball away, then I think that's a hard one. It's always been given, but you know, I think if there's some intent to it, if you're moving towards the ball, if your arm's making a motion towards the ball, then you know, that's fair enough. But if it's accidental and the kind of a movement of your body to try and either head the ball or clear a defence, you know, if you're sliding down trying to clear make a tackle and clear the ball in the box, just do something. with the with the handball situation, because I think handballs are now given just if it hits your hand or your arm inside the box. I don't think that's right.
Yeah, Philippe Clement certainly has been calling for some changes this week. We'll go around the rest of the pundits in a few minutes' time. But let's get back round the grounds for now. And a real shock could be in the cards. A long way to go, Stephen Craig, but what a start for Motherwell at Ibrox.
Yeah, and I think they've acquitted themselves very well. You know, I'd said ahead of the game that it could be a step too far for them because of the challenging week they've had. Penn on Sunday, then Penn on Wednesday, third game in 6 days with very little change with amongst it. But getting that early goal, I think, just pushes you and gives you that little bit of belief. But Rangers really are starting to up the tempo. Cyril Dessers had a header about 10 minutes ago that from the penalty spot he probably should have done a little bit better. Diamandi's just had a scorpion kick after a pass from Yidvan, and Ridvan had a shot from 20 yards that Liam Kelly saved. So they're starting to really push and probe. Oh, this time it's Cyril Dessers again. He's asking for a check from Alan Muir. He thinks his jersey's being pulled by Bevis Mugabe, but there's no doubt Motherwell are going to have to soak up pressure. They're going to have to absorb pressure, be difficult to play against. They've done that so far, although Alan Muir's just pointing to his ear, so there must be a message coming from somewhere, whether it's a silent check that Cyril Dessers thinks his jersey was being pulled from a crossball. Yeah, we're certainly seeing the pictures come in here now, Leanne, so it's not. It might get a better angle here. It's hard to see. He's certainly complaining. He's calling for it.
I don't think there's much.
Not much in it, I don't think.
Not for me.
Play's restarted, so
yeah, didn't see much in it, Crowds. East Fife equalised away at Spartans. Alan Trout with a goal there on 23 minutes. What's happening at Dens Park, Rory Loy?
Kilmarnock just had a little spell of pressure, nothing particularly major. Dundee have been the better team and deserve, in my opinion, their 1-0 lead. I'm not quite sure. Again, at times, Kilmarnock's defence is a back five. You've got Armstrong and Kennedy in full-back positions, which is, that's not really been the way they've had success this season. They've been high up the pitch, and even looking at it just now, when there's a kind of little lull in play, they're so far back the pitch, it's incredible. Then you've got your three, and it's leaving Donnelly and Ndaba in the middle of the pitch, and they're getting overran by Dundee's midfield. So not a lot of goalmouth action since you last came to me, Kenny. Still 1-0 to Dundee.
Stirling Albion equalised away at Cooney the South. Josh McPake on 27 minutes, one apiece in that game. Let's get to Billy Dodds. He's at Easter Road for us this afternoon. Hibs against Ross County, Billy.
Very much the same. County have not been in the game. They'll just try to nullify Hibs. They'll just try to break down this County defence. They did have an opportunity just a couple of minutes ago when Miller was caught in possession. There they've just given the ball away. They're overpassing it at times, Hibs. Latouri, what a save, just coming to you. I mean, that's the way the Brophy shot just get dragged wide, and then they gave away possession again. Latouri drives practically Kenny to the edge of the box, and it's a strike that Marshall does well to beat it away to his right hand side.
Yeah, so things level there. You'd fancy Hibs surely to go on and win that game. They actually played very well in the Edinburgh Derby, perhaps unlucky not to take all the points in that one. Let's then get to Paisley. St Mirren against Aberdeen, a very early goal there for the away side. Willie, what's happening now?
Yeah, it's been a decent game of football. There's nothing in it other than the goal, and it was a spectacular strike from Connor Barron, from distance right into the top corner. He couldn't have asked for more accuracy in that strike. The only chance for St Mirren was the one that Roos seemed to fumble as it came to him. It was a bad bounce off the ground. They fumbled it, he put it onto the post. It went then, back behind him. It ended up in a wide area. It was driven across the face. There was a bar check for a handball that wasn't given. And that's the only chance for St Mirren. But a decent game of football. Both teams intent to get forward. So, I'm hoping for more goals in this, that's for sure. Certainly the intent is there.
Another chance for Rangers, Kenny. Crossing the right hand side, James Tavernier misses everyone out. Stephen O'Donnell tries to flick it out for a corner at the back post, doesn't manage to do so. McCausland keeps it in. Here's a shot at ricochets back off Dan Casey. Has another shot at ricochets off Bevis Mugabe. Eventually finds its way to Cyril Dessers, and enough Motherwell bodies get back and flick it out for a corner kick. But Rangers really starting up the tempo.
Yeah, he's looking quite a frustrated figure so far, Cyril Dessers, in the early stages of that game at Ibrox. Let's then get to McDermott Park. St Johnstone at home to Livingston. What's happening, Alan?
Well, the highlight of the afternoon is certainly me finding an extra Kit Kat in my bag. Not great at all. No. Not a chance. Neither keeper has been called upon. It's just a midfield battle. Not good stuff. The pitch is poor as well, has to be said. But no, 26 minutes and the Kit Kat's getting open.
So there's 5 Kit Kats in there now, Al?
A whole bag. The whole bag.
It's interesting, Alan, because we had a St Johnstone fan on last week, and he was talking about the style of play under Craig Levein. He was saying it was turgid. He said, look, I'm not going to renew my season ticket. The chances are if he stays in charge. But then I thought they were excellent. They played really well at Pittodrie midweek.
Well, speaking of one or two guys that were at the game, they said they were very good. Well, worthy of their victory. They played well. They got a bit of pace up front. Maybe not the most skillful and gracious players, but certainly got raw pace up front. But today it's just a game, honestly, Kenny. It's been really poor. It's back to front. It's belting the ball about again. And I quite like, Smith and Phillips for St Johnstone and a light hole for Livingston, but they just can't seem to get the ball down at all. It's just getting booted from one end to another, and it's not great fair.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone saw the pass. It was the first or the second goal. The pass through was absolutely sensational at Pittodrie midweek. Let's get into the
That was the one that was described as a lump up the park.
Is that right?
Aye, by Neil Warnock. Yeah, it was just a lump up the park.
It was fantastic play. Yeah, really good goal.
Jayesime it was, wasn't it?
That's right.
Curled it with outside his foot, and it was well taken as well. I'm like, what?
Well, as I said to Tom Inglis called me a cheerleader, but I said he has been box office, Neil Warnock. He's given us plenty to talk about from an Aberdeen fan perspective. Not the right things, no doubt at all about that. Let's get into the championship and a very early goal that was brought to us by Chick Young at Firhill. What's happening now, Chick?
Nearly the second, Harry Milne with an absolute thundercracker of a shot from about 25 yards on the angle. Thought it was in the back of the net, so did Thistle fans. It had gone into the side netting, and before that actually there was a corner kick swung across and it hit the crossbar. Aidan Fitzpatrick took the corner kick on the left side. Remember that Thistle scored from a corner kick on the left side. I would say they've been the better team. United have come into it in shades of the game, but Thistle looked determined, hungry to get about the place. Good football and a lot of good appetite about all this afternoon. Brilliant, much more entertaining than Alan and his Kit Kat there, and Alan of course giving two fingers to the football.
Very good, Charles.
You can, but you can't buy part like that. Fantastic from Chick Young. Yes, Willie?
What a strike there, lovely piece of play down the left hand side for St Mirren, and I think it's a save. The referee isn't giving it. Roos seemed to get a touch on it. I think it was Jameson that took it out there with his left foot. Not an easy one to take out there. The little clip over, he's going away at an angle from the goal. He gets his left foot on it, he volleys it towards the Aberdeen goal, and I think Roos actually touches that over the bar, but the referee gives a goal kick. Big chance there, well worked for St Mirren.
Leanne, can you have a look at this at Ibrox, because it was Ridvan knocks the ball down, Dan Casey comes and makes the tackle alongside Ross McCausland. Casey clearly wins the ball, but Ross McCausland has slid down as if there's been a follow through. Ross McCausland didn't try and win the ball, so there seems a little bit of anxiety amongst the Rangers bench about Dan Casey leaving a foot in, possibly.
I've just seen it from the angle from behind, Craigs. It doesn't look great, I would need to say. He does play the ball, but he kind of leaves his stud showing just as he comes through. Not clear to see how much contact there is on McCausland, right enough.
One. That's a Leanne, go and have a look at this challenge. Robinson on Mackay for St Johnstone. Mackay goes down the line and he whips it in, but he's caught him so late.
Yeah, just
we'll get a replay of that.
Yellow card anyways out.
Philippe Clement was going mad at that challenge at Ibrox, and I just caught a quick glimpse there. It did look a bad one.
It's a bit excessive, I would need to say, from Casey, because I don't think he needs to get into the challenge the way that he does. That's the only thing.
He won the ball cleanly. There was no pressure from Ross McCausland.
No, and that's what I mean, Craigs. And he kind of leaves his boot, he kind of lifts his studs as he goes through. He's quite high because of the point of contact where the ball is to be met. I don't see it being a red, if I'm being honest, but certainly it'll be one that they'll look at.
Casey's got a wee habit of that, hasn't he? He did it Ross County earlier in the season, got injured, then he did it in the Celtic game last week, just like make sure he leaves one on you, and then obviously he's done that again.
And it's fine, Billy, at times when that's there to go and do it properly if you're going through the ball with real force, but he kind of leaves himself exposed.
Yep.
That's a chance for Livingston. It's a ball whipped in by Kelly. It's flicked on at the front post, and Obalai's at the back. You think, can he just knock it in? Doesn't get anything on it, and it goes out with another injury for St Johnstone.
Plays resumed, Plays resumed, so clearly it's been brushed aside.
Yeah.
Right, okay, Newcastle United 2, Wolves 0. Anthony Gordon with the second goal there on 33 minutes. It's also 2-0 Fulham at home to Brighton and Hove Albion. Muniz with the second goal there. Alloa have equalised away at Montrose. Taylor Stephen on 32, that's one apiece. Hamilton Accies romping it away at Kelty Hearts at the moment, 3-0 up. Akeem Rose with his second of the game there. So in terms just of the atmosphere there, Stephen at Ibrox. That has been incredible in some of the games, and no doubt said under Michael Beale's tenure that there was a real anxiety in the ground. You could feel it. Having fallen behind early today, is it still fairly relaxed among the home fans?
I think it's more frustration, Kenny, because they haven't had the same cohesion as what they had this time last weekend against Hearts, when they were dominant, they were on the front foot, they were moving the ball quickly. There's been a few misplaced passes, overhit crosses. There's been a couple of individual errors when it's basic just to move the ball on and they've maybe picked the wrong choice. So I think it's more frustration towards the players. It's not, anxiety as in they're not going to win the game, because they know they've got enough if they can just up the tempo. But I have to say, Motherwell have done well. Jack Vale has been excellent. He was very good last weekend against Celtic. Didn't start against Livingston. I felt come on and changed the game halfway through at the Tony Macaroni on Wednesday night. He's taking up good positions. He's carrying the ball well. He's the outball for Motherwell when they come under a little bit of pressure, but also Blair Spittle and Zdravkovsky and Lennon Miller can handle the ball, so they're getting the opportunity to pass the ball.
Capello!
Yes, Kassim.
Sean McAllister with a right foot free kick just outside the edge of the box. Stroked it beautifully into the bottom left corner of the Unit Morton keeper's goal. He's tried to get a hand on it and he's just parried it into the back of the net. Unit Morton 0, Inverness Cali Thistle 2.
My goodness, Duncan Ferguson needs a result. Yes, somewhere, Steve.
Yeah, it's me. It's Blair Spittle with a chance for Motherwell. I was saying that the fans weren't grumbling. They started to grumble there. Slip a ball over the top. Blair Spittle fights to keep it alive. Eventually gets a shot off, and Jack Butland fumbles it down to the side, gets away with it. But just when I thought it was looking easy enough for Rangers, Motherwell just had a little pop at them.
Right, let's where should we go next? Actually, a goal coming out in Clyde after the remarkable win against Stenhousemuir last week. Are behind at home to Elgin City. Jake Dolzanski with that goal on 34 minutes, and just confirmation of that second goal for Inverness Cali Thistle, 2-0 up away at Morton. My goodness, that's ripping up the form book there. Sean McAllister with a goal on 34 minutes. Let's get back to Rory Lloyd. What's happening at Dens, Rory?
Not an awful lot since you were last with me. Tony Docherty is certainly winning, in my opinion, the tactical battle so far. Dundee are the better side. Kilmarnock look a little bit lost at times in possession. Even when Dundee are stroking the ball around, they're not quite sure who's to go at the ball, who's to press. The only opening we've had since you were last with me was Josh Mulligan dispossessing Liam Porworth in the middle of the pitch. He drove forward but dragged his shot just wide, and it's still 1-0 to Dundee at the moment, Kenny.
Brentford 0, Chelsea 1, Nicholas Jackson on 35 minutes. So what's happening in Paisley, Willie? Every time I look up, it seems to be St Mirren pressing. Is that fair?
No, 100%. No, Kenny. Aberdeen have had their moments as well. It's swinging from one end to the other. I would say that St Mirren have had more of the ball. They've created little chances. There was a header there from Mandron. Sorry, there's some check going on. I can't tell you what it is because I'm speaking and I can't hear it. But Mandron had a header from the corner there that just eased by the far post or the back post. So it's, I think St Mirren maybe 2 or 3 chances. Aberdeen, with Duke being really prominent down this right hand side, have had a couple of chances, some saves from the goalkeeper as well. The intent, as I said earlier, is definitely there to get the ball forward early and get bodies into the box. So chances from both sides, but Aberdeen having obviously that magnificent goal as a lead.
Much in the way of chances at Easter Road, Billy?
No, I'll tell you, Ross County have done well in the last 15-20 minutes or so. I mean, Hibs trying to fly out the
it's a goal! Kilmarnock have equalised, and it's the first time that Danny Armstrong has actually got to the byline. He clips it to the back post, and it looks like Kyle Vassell. It might be another own goal, Leanne, you might be able to help out, but Kyle Vassell, it looks like he gets it back across goal, and it ends up in the Dundee net against the run of play, and it's Dundee 1, Kilmarnock 1.
I don't know if it looks like Watkins is maybe got the touch. He's grabbed the ball straight away, Rory.
Is it Vassell that gets the header
just now? Yeah, Vassell knocks it down. Yep, good delivery as you described from Armstrong. Quick feet, just gives himself that yard. Vassell with a knock. Where is it? There's a couple of bodies. I think it's Watkins that gets the final touch though.
What a difference having Danny Armstrong slightly higher up the pitch though. It's made a big difference. And Daba's now playing left back, and they've went to a 4, Kilmarnock, and since that change, which only happened a couple of minutes ago.
It's Wright that gets a knockdown, sorry, not Vassell. Yep. Good goal though, good delivery from Armstrong. Yeah,
so is it Watkins that knocks it in? Is it his goal?
Yeah, I'm sure it's Watkins, yep.
Yeah, he was certainly...
Silva should have scored here at Ibrox, Kenny. Yeah. Simple long ball over the top. Dan Casey gets really tight with Cyril Dessers. And Fabio Silva's on for Ross McCausland. That was the second part of the story. Ross McCausland obviously injured after that Dan Casey tackle. But he comes in from the left-hand side. Stephen O'Donnell doesn't match him.
For
He gets a
Livingston.
free shot from 2 yards and should score.
Yes, Alan.
Livingston have taken the lead, and I think it's Shinnie. I just went off air there, my line dropped just as there was a corner coming in, and it was hooked over his shoulder. I think it's Shinnie who scored that. Now you'll be able to have a look and help me out here.
Just getting a look at it now.
But it's 1-0 to Livingston.
Oh, a save! Oh my goodness me, that is a phenomenal piece of goalkeeping by David Mitchell on the Partick Thistle goal. It's a ball can come across the right side. I think it's Scott McMahon gets the header on it. It's going in the net, no doubt. I'm about to shout goal, and somehow Mitchell got across and got two hands on it and got it away. That is a quite fabulous piece of goalkeeping. It remains Thistle 1, Dundee United 0.
Right, so just confirmation. So it's coming through as Andrew Shinnie on 37.
Yeah.
Is that a check there, or is it just?
Well, I just was going to say that, Kenny. I thought they're going to look at this and punish him for a high boot because he's taking it in the swivel. I actually think if the defender, I'm not sure who it was, perhaps actually goes full-heartedly to connect with the ball, you might get the foul. But it's a really tidy finish from Shinnie, as I say, just in the swivel over his shoulder. Big goal for Livingston.
Yeah, confirmation that was Marley Watkins with equaliser for.
Yeah, they've only just announced that at the stadium, Kenny, so they obviously couldn't work it out themselves.
It took a while. So just Dundee 1, Kilmarnock 1, Hibs 0, Ross County 0, Rangers 0, Motherwell 1, St Johnstone 0, Livingston 1, St Mirren 0, Aberdeen 1. In the Championship, Airdrie 0, Queen's Park 1, Dunfermline 0, Ayr United 0, Morton 0, Inverness Cally Thistle 2, Partick Thistle 1, Dundee United 0. In League 1, Edinburgh City 0, Cove Rangers 1, Falkirk 0, Annan Athletic 0, Kelty Hearts 0, Hamilton Accies 3, Montrose 1, Alloa 1, Queen of the South 1, Stirling Albion 1. In League 2, Bonnyrigg 0, Stenhousemuir 0, Clyde 0, Elgin City 1, Dumbarton 0, Peterhead 0, Spartans 1, East Fife 1, Stranraer 0, Forfar 0. And in England, Brentford 0, Chelsea 1, Everton 0, West Ham 0, Fulham 2, Brighton 0, Newcastle United 2, Wolves 0, Nottingham Forest 0, Liverpool 0, Spurs 0, Crystal Palace 0. 5:30 start. Luton at home to Aston Villa. So that's you up to date with all the latest goal news. Let's get back to Chick there. Obviously a great save from the Partick Thistle keeper, Chick, but in terms of overall play, are they worthy of their lead, the home side?
Just about. They were a better team early on for sure. Now with the goal from Brian Graham, I think that's his 5th in consecutive games for Partick Thistle. 5-5, tremendous record. That goal came in from the left side corner kick. Watts headed on and he just knocked it over the line. So Dundee United haven't been without threat, Kenny. They've got forward, they've created a couple of opportunities, but that save really was a phenomenal effort. You have to say, wonderful bit of goalkeeping. Thoroughly enjoyed the game actually. And Jim Goodwin was observing the pitch wasn't perfect before the game. Actually, the quality of football's been pretty good on it. The players have done really well. Atmosphere's good, and I'm sure the good folks of Kirkcaldy are listening intently to what may or may not happen to Dundee United this afternoon. Losing by 1-0.
No doubt at all about that. A real shock on the cards at Capello, Kasim.
Yeah, still remains 2-0 to Inverness Cally Thistle. I don't think Greenock Morton have ever really recovered from the goal after 2 minutes. They got back into the game around 20 minutes, looked like they were starting to press, and then just out of nowhere, the free kick was given, 34 minutes, and Sean McAllister made it 2-0 to Inverness Cally Thistle. And at the moment, very quiet crowd here at Capello, and things remain Greenock Morton 0, Inverness Cally Thistle 2.
Kilmarnock want a penalty, Leanne. Have a wee look. It's a really well worked short corner, I have to say. Armstrong plays out to Kennedy, who tricks everyone by backheeling it back to Armstrong. He goes down, and they're looking for a penalty. The referee's standing behind the pole right in front of me, so I can't see whether he's got his hand to his ear or not.
Yeah, he's got his hand to his ear. I've not seen a good clip of it.
Really well
just seen
worked
it in real
corner,
time.
I have to say.
Yeah, I've just seen Armstrong coming inside the penalty. They're going to get a better look at it now, possibly. Well.
There is an official check.
Doesn't look like there's much in it. I think it's Beck that makes a challenge.
Oh, is it?
Maybe
Beck's just been booked as well.
Really, just catches it outside Dan Armstrong's boot. But I don't know if it's more like Armstrong kind of steps across Beck, to try and deliver with his left foot and just maybe initiates that wee bit of contact.
Yeah, that's obviously what they've decided, because there's no penalty. Goal kick.
Right, let's get back to Ibrox. Stephen Craig and Motherwell holding out really well here.
They are indeed. A couple of minutes ago, Cyril Dessers again got in behind the Motherwell back line, but I was never convinced he was going to get a shot off, or he was going to really think he could score a goal. And Bevis McGabby got back, I have to say, and defended really well 1v1. But the last 4 or 5 minutes, Motherwell started to suffer a little bit. They can't seem to get themselves up the pitch. They're looking a little bit leggy. They'll be edging towards half-time. They'll be starting to clock watch and think, can we get in 1-0 up? Can we get there with that slender lead? But it's a dangerous game they're playing, because Rangers have the pace. They're dictating the game a little bit more. So I expect it'll be a rough 3 or 4 minutes for Motherwell, but Rangers will be hoping to get themselves back level.
Craig, Dessers never really looks like he's going to run away from that last defender, does he?
He doesn't. He probably knows as well that Bevis McGabby's quite quick. So you know yourself when you're up against someone, you think no matter how fast they run, they're probably going to get there before me or hold me up. And that's exactly what Bevis McGabby's done on a couple of occasions, where Cyril Dessers should probably go and play on the likes of Shane Blaney, where he might have the legs on. That's where the clever football brain has to kick in.
Definitely hasn't get the better of McGabby once.
Yeah, it's a crucial period of the game there. Also a really crucial period in Paisley, William Miller, after that electric start for the Dons. Really important to go in with that advantage at the break.
Yeah, it is. You know, they don't want to lose anything this late in the first half. That for sure, as they have done in a couple of games this season. But they look a confident side. You know, they look a side that have got a little bit of belief this afternoon. I think that goal obviously helped it coming so early. That's not to say that St Mirren have not been probably the more dominant force and having the 2 or 3 opportunities themselves. A big chance where you know, the one that came off the inside of the post down the, oh dear, goalkeeper goes down. We'll need to see that one. I don't know, it's just a yellow card that's out. It's Majowski that's maybe left. He's booting, and Hemming goes down. The crowd getting a little bit excited about it. A yellow card's been shown. I didn't see it myself, I must admit. I didn't see the incident. I haven't seen that in his play, you know, this season. So I think you give him a benefit of the doubt. I'm certainly not calling him out.
Nah, there's nothing in that, Willie.
No, I don't think so.
No, he jumps just the way you naturally would expect him to look to try and put the goalkeeper off.
Our game's been stopped for a potential penalty, I think, for St Johnstone. Handball in the box. Waiting to find out. There's a cross from Robinson.
Yeah, just seen it pop up. I don't think it's going to be given. I think it's come off another body part.
Did it hit the hand eventually?
It looked as if it did.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Alloa have come from behind. They're chewing up away at Montrose. Ethan Sutherland with a goal there in 45 minutes, and Dunfermline 1-0 at home to United. Chris Hamilton on 42. Is there a chance somewhere there?
No, I'm just looking at it. There's Kwan that was through. Lovely bit of football played, and it goes down in the box. I'm sure they will check it, but play goes on. He bounced back up pretty quickly, and St Mirren are still pressing, but I would imagine that they would check that before the half-time whistle goes.
They're very close to the dugouts there at the Smythe Stadium. Willie, what's Neil Warnock like in the touchline this afternoon?
He's okay. He's obviously having a laugh and a joke with the fourth official. He's trying to get some messages onto his, you know, some directions onto his players out there as well. But he likes a chat, doesn't he? I mean, he's that type of guy, so he's keeping the fourth official very occupied.
Half-time, Airdrie 0, Queen's Park 1, Nottingham Forest 0, Liverpool 0, Queen of the South 1, Stirling Albion 1, Clyde 0, Elgin City 1, and Stranraer 0, Forfar 0. Let's get to Easter Road. Half-time fast approaching there, Billy. Quite a poor first half, is that fair?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it started, as I said, really quickly, but it's down to Ross County that has frustrated and nullified Hibs, and the natives are getting a little bit restless, letting them know they've blown a couple of, not chances but opportunities, Hibs. But Ross County, that's been down to them. That's half time, Kenny. It's 0-0 here at Easter Road.
Okay, thank you to Billy Dodds there in that game. So Ross County holding on. He'll be very happy, Don Cow, with that first half performance. 0-0, yes.
Yeah, nearly another goal for Thistle. What a drive that was from Lewis Nelson. 25, getting near 30 yards out, and he's absolutely sizzled it. The crowd, the Thistle fans, there's 2 balls in the park at the moment, and the game's rattling on, but the Thistle fans thought that was going into the net, just over the bar. Thistle's shooting is absolutely terrific this afternoon. 1-0 ahead.
Half time here at Ibrox, Kenny. Rangers 0, Mighty Motherwell 1.
My goodness, and what a result that would be. Theo Bair, what a signing he has turned out to be for Stuart Kettlewell. Just seen the pictures of the away support over there in the corner celebrating. They couldn't surely have foreseen this half-time scoreline. 1-0 to the away side there. Falkirk 0, Annan Athletic 0, Edinburgh City 0, Cove Rangers 1. These are all half-time scores as we gave you. Hibs 0, Ross County 0.
Half-time at Firhill, Kenny. 1-0 Thistle.
Yeah, and this title race just keeps on delivering week in, week out in the Championship. No doubt at all about
Half time at Capello, Greenock 0, Inverness Cally Thistle 2.
Yeah, if it stays like that, it moves Inverness Cally Thistle to within a point of Airdrie, albeit they'll have played 2 games more than the Diamonds, so very tight in terms of that playoff spot in the Championship.
In Paisley, Kenny, and at half time it's St Mirren 0, Aberdeen 1.
Thank you to Willie Miller. So if things stay the same there, St Mirren, they are in 5th spot. They've been 39 points, and also looking at Aberdeen 9th in the table, 30 points if things stay as they are. 2 points behind Hibs and 2 points behind Motherwell. Stephen said Motherwell could now make a late rally to get into the top 6. They're just outside the top 6 by 1 point, albeit having played a game more than Dundee. So still we play on at McDermott Park. Alan, what's happening there?
Kenny, we better go into the half times because we've got 8 added on minutes.
Oh my goodness.
And Jesse Mee is down injured at the moment, so you're talking maybe another 10 minutes to go here. Where Livingston lead by 1 goal, and it was a corner coming in. Devlin won the header, and there was Shinnie to hook the ball over his shoulder into the back of the net. St Johnstone are making a change now. Jesse Mee is now off. They're going to have to make a change, but there's 8 minutes added on.
What was the 8 minutes for, Alan?
We had a couple of injuries. Sprangle was in the net where it looked like a shoulder injury after a challenge. And then another St Johnstone player was down as well. So there's a couple being down, Leanne, and it's just bitty injuries, but it's been taking a bit of time to get them up and running. So that's where the 8 minutes has come from, and we've now Graham Carey's just come on for Jesse Mee. So we'll, Kenny, honestly, do your half times because this has got to go on and on.
Yeah, we'll do. I think we're still playing though at Dens, Rory.
Yes, we've played 2 of the 3 minutes. However, Scott Tiffany just took a sore one to the face and he was down, so about a minute to go here. It's still 1 apiece. Kilmarnock have been a completely different team since that change of shape. Kennedy really coming into the game on the left hand side, Armstrong on the right. Between him and Beck, it's a really good contest actually, a good one to watch. Beck was booked early. I thought the booking was harsh, so he's going to need to be careful, but as it stands at the moment, given the nature of the half, Kilmarnock have been a lot better since they've changed the shape, and 1-1's probably fair at the moment, I would say, Kenny, but very nearly half time, but not quite.
Thanks to Rory. So lots of half times coming in the English Premier League. Everton 0, West Ham United 0. In Scotland, Spartans 1, East Fife 1, and that is you up to date with all the latest half time scores across the country. We'll bring you obviously all the half time reports. We'll go around the grounds. Lots of early goals in Scotland. It's gone a bit quiet since then, but no doubt at all where the story would be this afternoon. The scores stay the same. That is at Ibrox. Rangers currently 1-0 down. Theo Bair with a goal there for Stuart Kettlewell's side on 9 minutes. Rangers have a few half chances, but you'd have to say not really tested Liam Kelly. He's not had to pull off any great saves so far. Undoubtedly been under a lot of pressure in the second half. Yeah, there's Chick asking for a coffee. Is that Chick?
Getting his half-time coffee
and a Kit Kat if he's lucky. Yeah, Chick getting his order in there. He gets well looked after, I'm sure. Media royalty, Mr. Young there at Firhill this afternoon. He saw a very, very early goal for the home side. They're 1-0 up at home to Dundee United. So still playing at Dens Park, still playing at McDermott Park. Once we get wrapped up, certainly at Dens, we'll start to go around the grounds. As Alan telling us there, lots of extra time to be played. Is that you, Rory?
That is half time right now, Kenny. Thoroughly enjoyable game. It's Dundee 1, Kilmarnock 1 at half time.
Good stuff. So let's get around the grounds then and get some reports. Stay with us right here on BBC Radio Scotland.
Football from Sports Sound.
Brilliant drop of the shoulder. From BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. We're with you right through until 7 o'clock this evening. No doubt at all who the story is in these half-time scores. It's at Ibrox. Rangers at home to Motherwell. Let's get to our commentary team of Kenny Miller and Liam McLeod.
27 years have passed since Motherwell won a league match here at Ibrox, and of course it's not that much better overall. Boxing Day 2002 was the last time they got the better of Rangers in the league. They have done in the League Cup semi-final. They have done in the playoff final as well, but not in top-flight games. And they have a lead here. And who else but Theo Bair has given it to them? It was a fantastic goal, really well worked. Motherwell settled so well, and it's been difficult for visiting teams to do that here at Ibrox in recent times. Jack Vale across, found Bair. He hit it round about the penalty spot, past Jack Butland in off the left-hand post as the striker was looking at the goal frame, and it nestled in the net. Rangers have had plenty of the ball, as you would expect. They're into double figures as far as corners are concerned, and they've had chances as well, and they really should be level. They'll feel a little bit aggrieved that they've not scored at least once in this match. Diamande with a couple of efforts from distance, Yilmaz with a couple of efforts from distance. Dessers has found himself inside the 6-yard area, and Fabio Silva really ought to have scored as well. He had a wonderful chance which he put straight at Liam Kelly. He'll be delighted to be making these saves because Stevie Clark, the Scotland manager, is behind us, taking in the action here ahead of the squad announcement for those friendlies against the Netherlands and Northern Ireland. Kenny Miller watching this one. Wore the number 9, of course, wore the striker's jersey here at Rangers, and really Silva and Dessers should both be on the score sheet already. But this is a big challenge now for Rangers. Yes, they were behind at Kilmarnock during the week and they responded, but Motherwell have lived a charmed life at times.
Yeah, they have. You know, again, I think they've actually done well. They've played the part in this game. They have looked a threat with Bair and Vale and Spittle as well going forward. Spittle actually had a really good chance at the other end as well to put Motherwell 2-0 up. But for the most part, it's been Rangers asking the questions, and more often it's just been longer balls, cross balls into the box that they've been really troubling Motherwell. It's Blaney, it's Casey, it's Mugabe just letting Dessers getting off their back shoulder, or like Silva's chance just getting round the face. I mean, Silva, it's the chance of the game. You know, he's probably just, the ball probably lands maybe just right on the edge of the 6-yard box. He does get his side foot on it, but there's absolutely no power in the shot. He should have been busting the back of the net with that opportunity and putting Rangers level. But again, Liam Kelly's had to make 3-4 saves. He's done it well. He's kept his team with their 1-goal advantage, and Philippe Clement's got a big half-time team talk now because he needs his team to come out here and keep the pressure up, keep this relentless nature that he's had since he came into the club, keep it up and come back into the second half.
Theo Bair's 9th goal in 12 games. He's up to 11 for the season, and as the Motherwell fans dreaming of a long-awaited victory in the league here at Ibrox. At half-time, Rangers 0, Motherwell 1.
Thanks to Kenny and to Liam. Certainly Philippe Clement found a way midweek. Can he do it at home this afternoon against Motherwell? Let's then get to Dens Park, Dundee at home to Kilmarnock. Sounds like a great game there, Rory.
Yeah, it's really good, I have to say, and the action started very early. It was only 3 minutes when Owen Beck ran down the left-hand side, crossed in towards Curtis Main. He managed to get a good flick on it, probably all he could have done. It was easily held at the beginning by Dennis, but as he went to run with the ball, he dropped it and it nearly bobbled in. However, he did get back in time. Then on 7 minutes, Mulligan's deflected shot was well parried by Dennis. Then the opening goal of the game came just after 10 minutes. Scott Tiffany got inside his man, and his low shot bounced off the post, hit Will Dennis on the back and rolled over the line for 1-0. Kilmarnock did have a breakaway around 25 minutes, their first real chance of the match. It was Donnelly who played in Watkins, and his left foot shot on the angle was straight at John McCracken. Kilmarnock changed their shape, and they had to be fair. Dundee were all over them, and when they did do that, they became a much bigger presence in the match, and that told on the 39th minute when Armstrong ran back down the line. He dinked it to the back post. Joe Wright's header down was nudged home by Marley Watkins to level the score at 1 apiece. McCracken was tested again from a cross by Armstrong from a dead ball, which deflected up over the bar. It was a good save, actually. So chances at both ends. Both sides played relatively well. It's half-time at Dens Park. It's Dundee 1, Kilmarnock 1.
So a good game there at Dens. Sounds like a very different story at Easter Road. Hibs against Ross County. Billy Dodds.
Aye, it's not great, Kenny. It was a fast start from the home side, though, but they couldn't keep it going. They didn't create their first chance to 17 minutes when Mariah Welsh slipped a lovely pass to Abita. He had a first-time shot, and Wickens spilled it, and just they thought Marcondes was going to pick up round the goalkeeper. Wickens picked himself up to get it round the post. What a good save it was. The fast start turned to frustration, though, for the home side. In 24 minutes, County their first chance. Miller, the Hibs full back, was caught in possession. Brophy nicked it. Kept going to the edge of the box left side and dragged a shot wide. A minute later, Hibs were caught again in possession. The natives are getting a little bit restless. This time Laturi drove to 19 yards and he hit a stinging shot that Marshall did well to beat away to his right hand side. Hibs kept grinding away. 4 minutes for the break. A new ball found Malida beyond the county back line, and from 8 yards he slashed his shot well over the bar. Good start for Hibs, which petered out, but that was down to a resilient Ross County. Stalemate at Easter Road. It's Hibs 0, Ross County 0.
Thank you to Billy Dodds. Next stop, Paisley St Mirren home to Aberdeen. There for us, Willie Miller.
Yeah, it's 1-0 for the visitors, Kenny, and some relief for the travelling Aberdeen fans, and I hope they all get in early, because it was as early as 1 minute to when the Dons took the lead. Duke was on. Neil Warnock decided to go with two wide players, and Majowski through the middle, Duke on the right hand side and Howlett on the left hand side, and it was Duke picking up the ball on the halfway line. Fraser comes out, Marcus Fraser comes out on the halfway line. I think he should try to win the ball, or try to maybe illegally impede Duke, because in a foot race that Duke is the likely winner, and he took him on the whole half of the park, went to the byline, cut it back. It was Gogic that got the little touch. He read it really well, Gogic. He got the touch out to Barron, who looked as though there was no problem, no issue with him at all, some 25 yards out, and he's just got it on his right foot, and he struck this magnificent strike that flew into the top corner, just glided into that top corner with Zach Hemming just watching it as it buried into the back of the net. So what a start that was for the Dons. It's been a good game of football. It's been pretty much two sets of players that are intent to get the ball forward, not an awful lot in midfield. St Mirren have had their chances. A big one coming from the corner. It was headed down, and Roos fumbles it onto the post. It comes out. The shot is blocked. It goes to the left hand side. Kilty drives it across the face of the goal. There's no takers. They're claiming for a handball. It was checked, but no handball given. And then Lewis Jamieson did really well. An awkward one for him. He's running from the right hand side. He's taking it with his left foot as he's making that run on the volley. Strikes it towards Aberdeen goal. I think that Roos gets a little touch on it to put it over the bar. So that was a good chance for the home side. And then Mikael Mandron had a header from a corner again, left hand side towards the back post. He goes up above everybody in the penalty box, and he heads it, and agonisingly for him, he just sees it slide past that far post. So at half time, I think, in terms of football, in terms of possession, I think perhaps the home side have got the edge, but Aberdeen certainly got the edge with that magnificent strike from Conor Barron early in the game.
Yeah, just watching replays again, coming into the studio, an absolute thing of beauty from Conor Barron there in Paisley. Next stop, McDermott Park, St Johnstone against Livingston. A half-time report from Alan Preston.
Well, it's not a classic, Kenny, but at the moment it's St Johnstone 0, Livingston 1, and David Martindale's side won't concern themselves with that. That's not a great game. There's been a chance of peace. One was taken, one wasn't. The one in 37 minutes, Livingston had a corner that was come in. Devlin wins the first header, and it falls to Shinnie. He's got his back to go, and he hooks it with his right foot over his shoulder into the back of the net. Really neat finish from then. And just before half time, Matt Smith on the left hand side cuts back onto his right foot, plays in a lovely cross, and there's Nicky Clark with a header, well saved by Shamal George in the goals. That's been about it. It's not been great stuff here in McDermott Park. The half-time score, St Johnstone 0, Livingston 1.
Thanks to Alan. Let's drop into the Championship. Partick Thistle at home to Dundee United this afternoon. Let's hear from Chick Young.
It's a case of anything you can do, I can do worse between Raith Rovers and Dundee United this weekend. Raith Rovers blew it last night. Dundee United are in the phase of maybe blowing it this afternoon. Partick Thistle ahead by a goal to nil as early as the 3rd minute. Brian Graham has 5 in a row he scored for Thistle now in terms of matches. It was a corner on the left hand side. It was knocked over, headed back into the danger area, and right at the far post, and only a yard or so out, Graham forced it over the line for Thistle's goal. They are ahead actually because of an absolute wonder save later in the game from David Mitchell. Would I lie to you? It was a fantastic save from the goalkeeper. Got on it. I had no chance whatsoever in my opinion, but that's what I know. Got it away, and it's Thistle who maintain the lead. They're coming out for the second half, Kenny. Good entertainment. 1-0 to the Jags.
Yeah, sounds a great game. It's always a good game at Firhill. Always plenty of goals. Let's very quickly, just Kassim, just a very brief update from you at Capello.
Yeah, so game started very lively. Inverness Cali Thistle captain Billy Mackay found himself with the ball dropping at him in the box, and he fine left foot shot into the top left corner to make it 1-0. Greenock Morton, to be honest, have looked shell-shocked since then. They haven't really found their way, and they gave a free kick 5 minutes before the free kick that they got the goal with. Inverness Cali Thistle, they gave a free kick away at the edge of the box, then did it 5 minutes later, and at 34 minutes, Sean McAllister tucked a beautiful free kick away just past the keeper's left-hand side. And then there was a lively finish to the first half with 3 yellow cards, but as things stand, Inverness Cali Thistle are ahead by 2-0 here at Morton.
Good stuff. Thanks to Kasim. A choice of listening once again for commentary with Ibrox, Rangers against Motherwell, tuned to BBC Radio Scotland Digital, 810 medium wave, and BBC Radio Scotland Extra on BBC Sounds. For open all mics, you'll find that 92 to 95 FM and BBC Radio Scotland on BBC Sounds. And both are live online at bbc.co.uk/Sport Scotland.
Every goal.
What a goal! Every game.
That is right out of the top drawer.
Every kick of the ball.
It's a terrific finish.
This is Sport Sound.
It's absolutely tremendous.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
You're listening to Open All Mics on BBC Radio Scotland. We're with you right through until 7 o'clock this evening. We'll get fan reaction from 5:30. My goodness, there are plenty of talking points already in Scottish football. If it stays the same, Stephen Craigan at Ibrox this afternoon, this will be one of the biggest shocks of the season.
Well, you said if, so that's underlined, highlighted, underlined again. We've watched Motherwell often enough this season to see at times how they can fall apart, or they can capitulate, or they can give up soft goals. So they've done the job in the first half. Yes, they had to defend, and as I said, they had to soak up pressure. They will have to do that all over again. But what they also have to remember is they have to take part in the game. You can't just think now it's a backs to the wall performance. They've got to be brave, they've got to be energetic. Everything that Stuart Kettlewell will want from his players. In the first half, they have to go and do it again. But Rangers have made another change. Tom Lawrence has come on for Nico Raskan, which follows up Ross McCausland going off in the first half and Fabio Silva coming on. So Rangers certainly won't be sitting back. They'll be the aggressors. They'll be trying to get the breakthrough as soon as they can and really put Motherwell under pressure.
Yeah, Stephen, talk to us about that. You'll have been in this position before. You've got a lead, against a team you're not expected to have a lead against. The natural instinct is to retreat, isn't it? It takes real bravery to go forward, show for the ball.
Well, it's easy to sit back as a defender because you can go back towards your own goal and you think you defend the 18-yard box. I think then it's up to the midfield players and the forward players and the wide players to really press when the opportunity presents itself. Also for them to be good with the ball and carry the ball, and that almost drags the team up the pitch with them. So there's lots of facets. Diamande has the shot, Sterling has the shot, Bevis McGavie deflects it over. But yeah, there's so many facets that have to work for you to get up the pitch. 5 minutes to go, of course you start the clock watch, you start to look over your shoulder, but so early in the second half, you can't start to think that way, Kenny, otherwise the inevitable will happen.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, Leanne, as a player, are you looking at the clock, are you sort of counting down maybe in 15-minute segments, or you can't afford to do that, I guess?
Probably in this type of game you'd look to...
Goal! But it's offside. The referee's assistant flag's gone up. Corner kick up in the air. Liam Kelly tried to come for it. Someone blocked him on the line, so whether that's what the free kick has been given for, whether someone's offside, but the referee's assistant flag has went up. Alan Muir, finger to the ear as always, wait for confirmation of what it's for, but a let off from Motherwell.
Yeah, it looks as if it's been given for offside, Craigs, but I'll get another look at it. It looked very, very tight, no doubt. But I think just, Kenny, in these types of games, you look to quarter things up in 22 and a half minutes, then you get to half time. Yeah, I think it comes off Dessers. He's offside, Craigs. Yeah, okay. Yeah. He's just behind the last defender and in front of Liam Kelly. So no, for Motherwell, when they come out with the same attitude in the second half, I think they've took part in the game. I think for the bits that I've seen across it, they've looked to try and play. I think their structure underneath the ball at times has been good, albeit Rangers have dominated possession and looked to get at them, and it'll be very much the same. But of course it becomes nervy, but I think you can also understand that the Ibrox crowd at this point are also nervy, which doesn't aid the home team.
Kelty Hearts 0, Hamilton Accies 4, Regan Tumulty on 50 minutes. Lamb will go round their pundits earlier on, giving Gianni Infantino, FIFA president, is in Scotland today. I believe we've got an interview with him. We'll try and get that to you. What would you change in football?
Do you know what? I don't actually know, because we've changed it that much over the last number of years. Do you just revert back to plan A?
Oh my word.
I don't know. Probably the handball is the one, as the guys have mentioned, that causes the most debate to a point. But I actually think in recent weeks, the only people that appear to not understand it is the referees, because I think the majority of pundits were all in agreement at certain points, like Tuesday night, for example. Should have been a review, should have been a handball. we can all accept that. The Devlin one, I think, Aberdeen, a couple of weeks back against Hibs, I think we've all seen that in better angles and different camera angles. We knew that should be a handball. The referees are the ones that there's a few spanners in the works every week just now, so it's maybe them that just need to get up to speed with it as opposed to the laws of the game itself.
Brentford won, Chelsea won. Madge Roselove with the goal in 50 minutes. Yes.
No, I think it was
Easter. I'll tell you, I would change the law back the way. I'd reverse the 5 substitute decision. I thought it was brought in for COVID reasons at the time, and I just think it's unfair. It just helps the bigger clubs all the time. I would go back to 3 subs.
Do you not think now, though, Chip, with the amount of time that we're seeing added on in games as well, it's probably actually benefits the welfare of the players, the fact that you're looking at times with 10, 11, 12 minutes added on with VAR? No?
Yeah, but it's still going to help. Yeah, I know, but it's still going to help the bigger clubs who can afford to have more quality players. You're going to help even it out a bit if there are fewer substitutes.
Anyway, back to the football, Kenny. I mean, Hibs have missed a glorious chance.
That was football.
Yeah, I know, but back to the football on the field just now. You were just talking about it, Chick. Hibs had a great chance. There was a couple of great chances. They made a sub, Dylan Levitt's come on for Mariah Wells, but they had a shot, Vente to Macondes. His shot was a brilliant save down to the right hand side by Wickens, and then the best chance of the match, Boyle drives into the box, pulls it back. Vente should just stick it in the net for 8 yards. I don't know if you've seen it, Leanne.
No, I've not.
And I don't, he just dummies it. I don't know what he's thinking, but let's Ross County off the hook.
Chance somewhere there.
Yeah, it was a chance for Dundee United. It's a shot played in, and the goalie David Mitchell, who I've been praising to the skies, spills it, and the United just can't go on and get over the line. Near post, Thistle squeeze it past for a corner kick, and I think I would suggest to you that Jim Goodwin has maybe had a right go. That calm and collected figure I was painting earlier on. These players at half time, it seems a wee bit more about them. There's a lot of battling going on inside the box, and the ball's not even in play. The referee's talking to players, so that says a lot about the attitude. Corner kick, United is still trailed by a goal to 0.
Montrose 3, Alloa 2, Kane Hester with a goal on 51 minutes. Edinburgh City 0, Cove Rangers 2, Mitch Megginson with the second there on 50 minutes. Let's then get to Rory. You're back underway there, Rory?
Yeah, we've just kicked off. Nothing's really happened. Dundee did try to probe, but it was good tracking back by Danny Armstrong. He ran about 70 yards to get back in, and that's about all we've had so far, Kenny. It's one each at the moment, but hopefully the second half is as good as the first half was.
Any changes at the Smythe Stadium, Willie?
No. Substitutions?
No.
How many have we got again? Is it 5, is it?
What do you think?
You'll
about
remember
that?
when there wasn't any substitutions, of course, won't you? I'm surprised they maybe didn't put that one forward. Do you remember that, Chico?
Of course I do, Willie. Who was the first substitute in Scottish football?
See, I'm your straight man, so I'm just lining them up for you. So on you go.
But wait a minute. Let's put that out there. Anyone know the answer to it?
I do, that's what I asked the question.
No, you do. First substitute. Well, having said that, we'll check it. First substitute in Scottish football.
How dare you?
Anybody?
No.
I'm going to go.
Oh!
No, I'm not. I'm going to guess. I actually don't know when it was. You can be a fool of yourself guessing here. I've suddenly decided. Right, tell us, Chick.
Hang on, Kenny, because there's a big chance for Partick Thistle here. Robinson won't shoot. They get forward. Yeah, it was a very famous. Oh, just past the post. It was Archie Gemmell, I think.
Mother just hit the crossbar. Brilliant cross on the right hand side from Stephen O'Donnell. Blair Spittle, Motherwell's man of the season so far, gets in between 2 Rangers defenders, inside of his left foot, crashes off the crossbar. Could have been 2-0, but Rangers are on the counter attack.
Rangers, the architects of their own downfall there, though. Craig's building it for the back too slow. Motherwell go and hunt it, nick it off them. Big chance.
Yeah, I can also say Philip Clement is visibly frustrated as I've seen him this afternoon. Theo bears through 1-on-1. What's he going to do? Chops back. He's looking for a little bit of support. Wow. Little turnaround the last 4 or 5 minutes because it was back to the walls for Motherwell. And this is probably how it's going to play out. They're going to have little bursts where they commit men forward and they go for your jugular, and other times you're going to have to sit back.
And a fairly big reaction from the home fans there now. It's starting to turn a wee bit, Stephen.
Well, I think they're booing because they felt as if Tom Lawrence should have been given a free kick for a foul by Shane Blaney, but it's just 2 players coming together.
But when you're behind and you're chasing a title and things aren't going your way, it's easy to start blaming officials and getting a little bit noisy. I didn't think there was much in it, I have to say, but just on Clement, he's up and down his touchline, he's waving his arms, he's pointing to his bench, and he's talking to his members of staff. So clearly, as much as he's calm and composed, he's looking a little bit frustrated this afternoon.
Do you know, we've seen, on you go.
Yeah, Kenny, we're underway, sorry, Willie, we're underway here at McDermott Park, and I'd just like to say, especially for the sports scene team, to have a look at that handball in the first half. Devlin in the box where there was a check. Everyone in the stadium's convinced, apart from the referee and the VAR man, clearly.
He kicks it up on his own handle.
No, there's one that comes in, Leanne. There's another one that comes in as a cross.
All right.
Devlin goes up, I think it's with Clark.
Okay.
And it seems to hit Devlin's left arm.
We'll try to have a look again at that. Willie, you want to come in?
It was just Ollie Sanyers came on at half-time. Sorry, Kenny, you asked me if there was any substitutes. He's come on at half-time. Oh, a strike there from Hoylett for Aberdeen. First time up the flat in the centre.
Big chance! Oh, great save.
Penalty check at Rangers.
Watkins runs one-on-one with the goalkeeper, but McCracken spreads himself and does excellently. I'll let Kaz come in on that.
Right.
Yeah, there was a penalty check, I think. Fabio Silva tries to have a shot. Diamonde's just made, it's a bit embarrassing from Diamonde. Him and Stephen O'Donnell come together, and O'Donnell pushes him off. He's down holding his face. Stephen O'Donnell's got a yellow card, so he's obviously motioning his arm towards him, but Diamonde was trying to convince the referee to give a red card. But yeah, Stephen O'Donnell went for the tackle on Fabio Silva. Silva chopped the ball back. I can't see how much contact, if any contact, from Stephen O'Donnell, but the Rangers players and fans were up asking for a penalty kick, so it'll be interesting to see how it pans out.
Right, the first thing to say is that's poor from Diamonde, isn't it? We've just seen a replay.
Really
there.
poor, Ken. I mean,
just seen a replay.
From the distance, it's quite embarrassing the way he went down. He went down in stages. He didn't go down on. He kind of went down and fell himself down. So that's poor.
Yeah, just to go back, actually, Leanne, just having seen a replay, and obviously he's in fine form, Blair Spittle. That was terrific technique, the one he put off the bar, wasn't it?
Yeah, lovely technique. Great delivery from Stephen O'Donnell on the right-hand side, and it just sits up. It comes up off the grass just as it's arriving at Spittle. He does really well because he just waits for it, anticipates it coming to the left foot, and just opens up, and he's ever so unlucky that it's not ended up in the back of the net.
Clyde have equalised at home to Elgin City. Jordan Allen with the goal there on 53 minutes, trying to follow up on that remarkable win against leaders Steny last weekend. So I was still waiting on this.
Well, I'm just thinking clear and obvious. We've now been waiting probably 2 minutes, and if it's not clear and obvious for the C in the first or second view, and then are they searching? We ask the same questions every week.
Yeah.
Are they searching for something? I don't know. I haven't had a look at the replay, but clearly the delay means that.
Here we are. Here's a replay now.
Yeah. Yilmaz just shifts the ball to Silva. I think, is it O'Donnell's?
O'Donnell goes to ground.
I think he plays the ball. I think it looks to me like he plays the ball first, though.
He showed the TV. He's going to come and have a look.
Wow.
Kenny, it's on your side in terms of the shooter, but to me, the image I'm seeing is that O'Donnell plays the ball first, whether there's a follow through, but as Craig says, it's as if we're searching for contact here.
Yeah, I mean, I looked up, so one quick view. We've obviously got pictures of all the games going here, so I got one quick view. It looked a decent tackle from O'Donnell, but I guess there'll be different angles of that. Just meantime, a quick fire double for Clyde, quick fire double for Jordan Allen. Clyde 2-1 up now at home to Elgin City. So getting another replay here, Leanne.
Is it coming together? I've managed to have a little look at the monitor.
That one actually, do you know what?
Is there a lazy leg from O'Donnell?
Here we go,
I'm going to go penalty there. That
Silva
angle
actually does really well, because we've just seen it from the reverse angle, and Silva dinks the ball over O'Donnell. Now when you see it from the other angle, Craigs, it looks as if it's O'Donnell that's got the contact.
I haven't managed to, I've only had the one brief look to my left hand side. I haven't really had a clear look at it, so I don't know. I've got a feeling this will be viewed as a penalty. It's cute from Silva because the only thing he can do is to dink the ball out the way. Penalty given, Alan Muir.
Goal!
Yes, goal.
It's come from a mistake. Wickens, who's been decent, has had a nightmare. Just a cross in from the right. He comes to take it and spills it. And I think it's Malida who's tucked it into the net. So Hibs are in front from nowhere.
Big goal there. East Fife 2-0 away at Spartans. Everton 1-0 at home to West Ham United. Beto with a goal there on 56 minutes.
Now, Kenny, if I'm being honest though, right, the length of time that we've waited for this, you and I watching this in the studio, we were only seeing it from the one angle. Now the VAR team are immediately seeing it from more than one angle.
And it's taken them
a really long time to get there, because once we've seen it from the angle from behind, it's quite clear that there's not contact on the ball from O'Donnell initially.
Yeah, absolutely. It should have been done quicker. So James Tavernier, Stephen?
Yeah, he is. He's stepping up. Liam Kelly, of course, has saved the penalty this season. Oh! End off the crossbar, 1-1. I thought he hit the crossbar, 1-1. And as you can hear, Ibrox is alive.
Oh yeah, right into the roof of the net. So a very good penalty there from James Taverny. He of course was the man that sparked the comeback at Rugby Park midweek. So huge there, one apiece at Ibrox, as Billy was telling us. 1-0 to the home side at Easter Road. My leader with a goal there in 59 minutes against Ross County. You'd have to say he looks a very, very good player. I gave you that goal for East Fife. 2-1 now with Spartans. Nathan Austin with that goal. So a real test now. A real test for these players, Leanne.
Oh, surely! Great save, what a hit that is from Dan Mackay. What a save by Mitov. Comes back in again, another hit, good save again. Wait to see the movement on the ball from Mackay's hit.
Mitov does really well to get that out of danger.
What a save. That ball's moving, Leanne.
That moves it, and he almost takes a foot to the right, I think, then he adjusts, but he does really well to keep it out the line of his own goal. Good save. I was just going to say that penalty from James Tavernier is ridiculous. Such a pressure moment again, right into the top bin, roof of the net. Real quality.
Do you know what I would say? Fabio Silva has made a difference. He came on for Ross McCausland halfway through the first half. He's been lively, he's been bright. We always probably thought, or a lot of us thought, he probably wouldn't be an out-and-out number 9. He's playing off the left-hand side, but he's been given that freedom to roam about. He's picking up lovely little pockets of space. He's got a lovely touch. His space awareness is very, very good. He got the penalty to get it up. He had a little shot just over the crossbar, so he's the one player that's brought in the licence to come on. And of course, the body language of the Rangers players has completely changed now at the back level.
Lots of goals flying in. Spurs 0, Crystal Palace 1. Eze with a goal there on 59 minutes. Airdrie have equalised at home to Queen's Park. Mason Hancock on 63 minutes. Just confirmation that James Tavernier penalty right into the roof of the net. That coming on the hour mark. Rangers 1, Motherwell 1. Falkirk 1 and an Athletic 0. Callum Morrison on 61 minutes. Right, let's continue round the grounds. Let's get to Willie Miller. What's happening in Paisley, Willie?
So lively. Oh, side netting. Olusanya, is it? No, it's not. It's a fullback, Bumono, who strikes it with his right foot and it just goes into the side netting. Listen, it's a lively game. I think the second half has belonged to the home side. St Mirren are, constantly putting Aberdeen under pressure. They haven't created too many opportunities. In fact, Aberdeen in the break have looked more like it, particularly with David Howlett down the left-hand side. He's created a number of opportunities for himself and good crosses into the box. But as far as possession goes, it's a home side that is controlling the game, and Aberdeen defensively looking pretty solid though, and looking pretty confident. But it's a good game of football. I'm enjoying it. The intent's there. Every time the players get the ball, they want to get it forward. There's no negative play whatsoever from either team.
Who's looking the more likely at Dens Park, Rory?
Well, it was Kilmarnock at the start of the half. Watkins had a wonderful opportunity, which was really well saved by McCracken. But Dundee have now changed their shape. They've made a substitution, actually. Cameron's come off and Owen Dodgson's come on, and it's probably a natural right side fullback. So they've went to a 4 now. So it'll be interesting to see how it pans out. But I would say Kilmarnock have had the better of the second half so far and should be 2-1 up. However, they didn't take that chance, so it remains 1 apiece.
I always feel, Rory, when it's Tony Dock up against Derek McInnes, that it's a bit of cat and mouse. You see tweaks to the system and changes. It's almost like they're trying to wait. It's like a game of chess. Wait for one to move, then you make your move.
I definitely think McInnes got it wrong in the first half at the start of the game, but he recognised it pretty quickly, fixed it, and they got their goal back. But no,
well, I did see at one point, I think the goalie went down for a tactical change, and the camera panned to the dugout. Derek McInnes had the notepad ready and the team over quickly, I guess, giving some instructions. So
the two of them have been in Zara as well, the 2-for-1 and all the clothes. They look exactly the same again.
The mannerisms are very similar, that touchline. It's quite scary. Queen of the South 2-1 up now at home to Stirling Albion. Josh Todd on 65 minutes, and Kelty Hearts 0, Hamilton Accies 5, Akeem Rose on 64. Yes,
Kenny, I was just going to say, in terms of things I would like to see changed in football, I mean, I don't know how you would police this, but one thing I've noticed Oh, flashed across the face of goal. It's came to Armstrong. What a battle it's been between him and Beck. Beck does well on this occasion. Is feigning injuries. That drives me mad, and it's creeping more and more into the game. My little boy's 8, so he started playing 6-a-sides now, so you can stay and watch. Players at 8-year-old going down, rolling about, holding their knee, hand in the air, then just getting up and getting on with it. That's because they see that on the TV. You see it all the time. Players no being touched. Bruno Fernandes, it went viral the other day. Embarrassing. Now it's difficult. I don't know how the referees would get on top of that, but there needs to be some sort of looking back on and retrospective action on players who are just wasting time when there's nothing wrong with them.
I think that's a very good point, Rory. A very good point. I'm sure most people would agree with that one. Everton won, West Ham United won. Kurt Zuma on 62 minutes. Is there a chance somewhere?
Yeah, it's a chance, but Dundee United are all over Thistle now, Kenny. I feel there's a goal coming soon for Dundee United. They've absolutely been on the rack since the second half began of Thistle. United getting themselves into it. Just a little deflected shot. It fell eventually into the grateful arms of David Mitchell, but I just think United are getting themselves right into this game. Still 1-0.
Kenny, just getting back to that and Rory's point, I don't know if you all remember, I think I mentioned it at the time, but in the WSL last year there was a player...
that could be a penalty. Yes, it is. Tiffany gets the wrong side. It's a red card as well. He's been sent off. No attempt to play the ball, and I think it's Robbie Dees who's going to walk here. He just drags him back. Tiffany's so small, he gets the right side of him, the wrong side if you're the defender. Dees, he drags him to the ground, and it'll be a penalty to Dundee.
Just waiting for a replay of it, Rory. Just caught the last end of it, just as you were describing it.
Yeah, I mean,
Tiffany does really well.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
He just manages to wrangle his way and about these. I don't think he can complain too much about it, if I'm being honest.
So there's a VAR check going on, apparently. But I don't know how. I mean, it looks I don't know whether it's maybe outside the box. Does it?
Yeah, well, maybe a good point.
I'm not sure, but I think the defender lets it bounce and gets himself in all sorts of trouble. And Tiffany's so small with that low centre of gravity, just wriggles in front of him.
So I think the fact that Dennis is quite close as well probably makes it such a pointless challenge as well, because I actually think Dennis might have been able to salvage the situation. Because I don't know if I would... I don't know if I would describe it as a goal-scoring opportunity, because I don't
think... Here we go now, so here
the ball's under control.
Just having a look at who it is that's been ordered off. It might be Lewis Mayo, actually.
Oh, it's a goal! I sensed it was coming, and it has come.
Penalty's been given.
It's a goal for Dundee United. It's 1-1, and I thought that goal was coming. It's a blow way of pressure. It's the Partick Thistle. Yeah, and the goal was rocketed into net. And I think Louis Moulty got the final touch. I'll confirm that in a second, but it's 1-1.
Yeah, Trick predicted that one. The leaders back on level terms there at Firhill. There are always goals. They're very poor in defence, you'd have to say, Partick Thistle. So a big moment there in terms of the championship title race. It's now Montrose 3, Alloa 3. Bobby Wales, the latest goal there on 67 minutes. Confirmation that red card for Lewis Mayo at Dens Park on the hour mark. And that is you up to date with the scores. Who's stepping up, Rory?
It's Luke McCowan. Curtis Main wanted it. He grabbed the ball, but it will be Luke McCowan. The left-footed Luke McCowan. He runs up now. Oh! Just sneaks in. Will Dennis is so unlucky. He pushes it onto the post, but it ends up in the back of the net. Kelly down to 10. Lewis Mayo in for an early bath, and Dundee go 2-1 up.
Yeah, big moment there.
Yeah, good penalty. Does well. I was just going to say, Rory, the foul started outside the box. I'm assuming they've just viewed it as it's continued into the box, and that's why the penalty stood in the VAR check and
That's
whatever.
the only thing I could think that they were checking, Leanne, because it looks stone. It was difficult to see because there is actually a pole, as you probably know, just in front of you at Dens, right there. So, but it did look like a Stonewall penalty.
And I was just going to say, on your point, that Summoning, the Tottenham Hotspur women's player, she was given a 2-game ban last year for deception, basically, after the game, because she pretended that the contact had been in her face and it was actually her chest.
All right.
And it was the first time I've ever seen that, and it actually infuriated me, though, that was the women's game that had to take that precedence, because we literally watch it televised in high-profile games in the men's game constantly, and nothing is ever done about it.
And when I'm talking about my little boys' football, Leanne, they're not injured. They think they're just doing that because they see it and copy it, because they're only 8. Do you know what I mean? They do what they see,
and
they think
that's their dads, Rory.
What's that?
And since he just got with his dad.
I didn't get involved in all that physicality, Craigs.
Right, let's continue around the grounds. Alan Preston, you were a bit quiet this afternoon.
I think I'm going to miss Strictly Ice Dancing or whatever it's called, because this game's got to go on for about an hour. We've had injuries on top of injuries. Honestly, wait till you see this. But Livingston are good value for the 1-0. St Johnstone being really poor. They've made changes. Stevie May's come on. They've had to take off their captain. Considine's now come on due to injury. Gordon got a head knock. But Livingston, good value. Mitov's had a couple of really good saves in the second half, and Livingston scored that goal through Shinnie in the opening period. As far as St Johnstone are concerned, Craig Levein said he had to raise his voice to his team the other week there. I think he's going to have to do it again, because this has been a dreadful display.
Brentford 2, Chelsea 1. Visa with a goal there on 69 minutes. So the latest scores across the country this afternoon: Dundee 2, Kilmarnock 1, Hibs 1, Ross County 0, Rangers 1, Motherwell 1, St Johnstone 0, Livingston 1, St Mirren 0, Aberdeen 1. In the Championship, Airdrie 1, Queen's Park 1, Dunfermline 2, Ayr United 0, Morton 0, Inverness Carry Thistle 2, Partick Thistle 1, Dundee United 1. In League 1, Edinburgh City 0, Cove Rangers 2, Falkirk 1, Annan Athletic 0, Kelty Hearts 0, Hamilton Accies 5, Montrose 3, Alloa Athletic 3, Queen of the South 2, Stirling Albion 1. And in League 2, Bonnyrigg Rose 0.
Chance! Oh, sorry.
Yes, on you go, Billy.
Ah, it was a great chance for County. Should have scored. Damon Brophy down the left-hand side, cross 6 yards, put it in the net, hits the goalkeeper.
Bonnyrigg Rose 0, Stennismuir 0, Clyde 2, Elgin City 1, Dumbarton 0, Peterhead 0, Spartans 1, East 5 2, Stranraer 0, Forfar 0. And in England, Brentford 2, Chelsea 1, Everton 1, West Ham United 1, Fulham 2, Brighton 0, Newcastle United 2, Wolves 0, Nottingham Forest 0, Liverpool 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0, Crystal Palace 1. 5:30 start, Luton at home to Aston Villa. Let's get back into the Championship. Let's get to Capello, and a real shot on the cards there, Kassim.
Yeah, second half has started pretty much the same as the first half was. Since the goals for Inverness Carry Thistle, they're just sitting back now, making it very, very difficult for Greenock Morton to break them down. It's become a very physical game. There's been 2 or 3 delays in this half where it's just injury after injury, and kick-offs between players, and it's just flowing over. It just needs to calm down a little bit before there's a red card here. But as things stand, still is Greenock Morton 0, Inverness Carry Thistle 2.
And what about the home side? Are they hanging on now at Firhill, Chick?
Yes, they are a bit. That equaliser I felt was inevitable. It was probably inevitable that it was Louis Moult who was going to score the goal. Brian Graham has got the early goal for Thistle, so it's the guys you most likely to get the ball in the back of the net. They're trying to rally a little bit, Thistle, at the moment, but they haven't really tested the goalkeeper the second half. I think United have been the better team. Here's Brian Graham with a header, claims for a penalty. Not given. Thistle fans in front of me thought that was a handball. Was a suspicion. Referee says play on. Still 1 each.
Motherwell had a 2-on-1 there, sorry. Long ball up the pitch, and it's 1-on-1 Connor Golston against Theo Bair. Golston goes to try and win the ball around the halfway and gets far too tight. Theo Bair rolls him. Golston collapses, holding his face. I've no idea there's been contact or not. Theo Bair's through from a wide area on the right hand side. He tries to pull it across to Blair Spittle, and it's cut out. Motherwell really should have done an awful lot better with that opportunity that was presented to them. Rangers off the hook.
That's a big chance. Absolutely nothing in it in terms of the contact between Bair and Golston. Well, Bair does really well, Craigs. He just puts his arm round Golston.
He's down holding his cheekbone. He's still touching. He's rolling about as if, please give me a foul.
Yeah.
He just got too tight to a physical striker who's more physical than what he is.
Yep, and Bair's got to do well, because as you say, it's 2v1. He needs to release it a lot earlier for Spittle and support. Just put it into the space for him. Allow him to go and attack it.
It's a real good tactical battle now, because Rangers are overcommitting men forward. They are leaving Connor Golston or John Suter 1v1 against Theo Bair. If Motherwell can get the pass right, like they did on that occasion, then they could pose problems.
Dumbarton 1, Peterhead 0. Michael Ruth with a goal there on 73 minutes. Let's get back to Billy Dodds at Easter Road. What's happening, Billy?
Well, County are having a little bit of a comeback, and they've had Brophy should have scored. I mean, it's an incredible chance. He just has to. Got to praise Marshall, because he stands strong and gets it away. But County are pressing, but they don't look as if they've got enough to break down this Hibs defence yet. Hibs still going at it, trying to get this killer second.
Another chance here.
Yeah, it is. It's another chance for Motherwell. Theo Bair has frightened the life out of Connor Golston. The ball comes into Theo Berry, turns. Goldson is as if his legs are tied together. He's shuffling, he's trying to move his feet, he's backing off. He doesn't want to go tight because he knows he's got him pace-wise. Plays a lovely little 1-2 with Blair Spettle, gets him behind, has the shot, Theo Berry. I think it deflects off John Suter and goes out for a corner kick.
Right, we're just seeing a replay. I take it there's no check there, Stephen. We're seeing a replay.
No, there was claim for a penalty at the opposite end, Craigs. It was Silva turned in and lashed the ball off of Mugabe, but his arms were tucked in. It was point blank range.
It was a shout from the Rangers fans and from the staff, you can imagine. But Dan Casey! He's got it! 2-1 to Motherwell! Oh, what a cross from Blair Spell, right hand side! And Dan Casey popped in round the back. James Tavernier got caught sleeping and he heads it in at the near post past Jack Butland. They've threatened a couple of times in the last couple of minutes, and boy have they shown ball and resilience and character. They lead 2-1, but there's still 15 minutes to go.
It's all in the delivery. As you say, Craigs, the delivery is brilliant, but actually the header is so delicate at the back post. I thought he was going to go back across because I'm following it just as you're describing it. And he just nods it down, calm as you like, near post. Butland doesn't stand a chance. Wow.
And you've got to say, Stephen, so we talked about the approach from would they be pinned back? They've given this a right go this afternoon.
Well, I have to say, for long spells they've been pinned back, but I said probably 15 minutes ago that the game would probably pan out, they would have little bursts, but this little burst has lasted 4 or 5 minutes, and they've threatened and they've went again, and Rangers have overcommitted, they've ran forward, and Motherwell have broke well, they've dealt with the ball well, Kenny. If you're going to play counter-attacking away from home at a big stadium against a good team, when the ball comes out, you've got to make sure that your use of it's very good, and it was with Rangers, with Motherwell, and they've pushed and probed and they've got the goal. Kemar Roof making a comeback is about to come on, so that tells you the desperate need that Rangers are in.
No doubt at all. Rangers 1, Motherwell 2. Tavernier equalised. Theo Bears early strike, that penalty from Tavernier on 60 minutes after Bears opener on 9, but Dan Casey at the back post with that really neat header on 75 minutes put Stuart Kettlewell's team back in charge there, so the away side in control. What about the away side in Paisley? Willie Miller.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much taking the same format with both sides having plenty of the ball. Not great amount of opportunities, I must say. I think Neil Warnock he's brought on James McGarry, so you can tell from that point of view that he's quite happy with the scoreline as it stands just now. Although St Mirren have had the bulk of possession in the second half, it's been Aberdeen that's created any of the little half chances. The Hoylett cross, the Hoylett shot and save, the Phillips who had a volley that just flew over the bar. So for all the pressure that St Mirren have had, they haven't created any real opportunities. So Aberdeen really defended extremely well with that back four. Jensen and Gatman and McDonald and Devlin. They've really shown a lot of resistance to the onslaught that has been St Mirren, and they've stood strong, and St Mirren haven't really created many opportunities. No doubt they'll be hoping that they can before the final whistle, but so far it's looking pretty good for Aberdeen.
Yeah, we asked the question early on, Rory, before kick-off, how Dundee would respond to that thumping at Celtic Park midweek. My goodness, he's got everything out of his team today, Tony Dock.
Yeah, he has. But Kilmarnock have been decent as well after that first kind of 20-25 minutes. They've been good. I thought it was a really even contest. There's been a sending off now and a goal. And I think, thinking back to this fixture at Dens Park earlier in the season, that kind of infamous Mulligan sending off, I think Kilmarnock found themselves Dundee found themselves 2-1 down with a man sent off and managed to score in the last minute. So it's role reversal here, and Kilmarnock find themselves in that position. And with the way these fixtures have went this season, you wouldn't rule out anything. So it's still a really entertaining game. There's been nothing really happened other than Van Veen coming on for Vassell in the last couple of minutes. So good bit of time for him to make an impact. So we'll wait and see. But Dundee's still 2-1 up, and they have a corner at the moment, Kenny.
Right, so a really good game there at Dens Park. It's been a real battle, a war of attrition at McDermott Park. Alan Preston.
Yeah, Kenny, we had 8 minutes at the start of the added on in the first half. We'll have at least that again. We've had 4 times the physio's been on in the second half, and St Johnstone fans are getting frustrated because they think the Livingston players are wasting time. That's up to them if the referee lets them away with that. But St Johnstone have not done enough. They've had 1 effort on goal on target, and that's nowhere near enough. Livingston deserve the victory, and if they can get this and Ross County get beat, it drops again. That's the thing. David, you would not back against David Martindale's sides if he can get down to that 6-5 points as he's talked about after the split. They're still in a fighting chance, and on this performance they've defended well, and they've created I wouldn't say many chances, but they've created more than St Johnstone, and they look a better side than them at the moment. 1-0 it is, 70 minutes in the clock.
Yeah, looking at the live table, St Johnstone 10, 27 points, Ross County 11th, 23 points, Livingston at the bottom 19 points, so they've moved to within 4 of County, having played a game more. So I'm sure he will feel, as Alan told us before the game, all to play for as they approach this split. Tottenham Hotspur 1, Crystal Palace 1. Timo Werner with equaliser there for Ange Postecoglou's side. Let's get back into the championship this afternoon. Let's get to Firhill. Chip Young is there for us. What's happening, Chip?
Yeah, there's a little bit of trouble on the far side. Could be we've had a couple of bookings in the last few minutes, Kenny. It's getting a bit fiery out there, I have to say. And in fact, Dundee United were claiming for a penalty kick. It was a shot rattled into a collection of players. The United players immediately spun as one and claimed for a penalty. It wasn't given. That latest yellow card is for Lewis Nielsen out there. Just a bad challenge in the middle of the park. Just kind of hanging on to, and United, of course, desperate to get all 3 points, which makes it very interesting indeed. Yeah, definitely United the better team in the second half. Had that claim for a penalty. The equaliser came from Louis Moult, and the opening goal from Brian Graham. It could go either way, actually. Could Thistle have dragged themselves a little bit more into the match. But if you're asking me for a forecast, I think United are going to go from the air and get the winner. One each at the moment.
Yeah, well, he certainly predicted the equaliser. Chip Young there at Firhill. Let's get to Capello. Morton at home to Inverness. Cali Thistle. Any sign of a fight back from the home side there, Kasim?
We've got another injury here. I tell you what, Samuel Alexander, he's got a fractured wrist, I believe. He's got stitches in his ankle, and he has had some treatment this afternoon. He's down again, so there's a delay here, but no, nothing else much to report at the moment. As things stand, it looks like Inverness Cali Thistle will see this out, but let's see what happens in the last 10 minutes or so.
Right, let's get back to Ibrox. A real story developing there this afternoon, and they look comfortable is the wrong word, but they're coping very well their way side there, Stephen.
Yeah, you're never comfortable at Ibrox, Kenny, when the home team are chasing down a lead. There's no doubt about it, but the key to it all is, I said it a few minutes ago, handling the ball. When they've landed on the ball, rather than hooking it on and slashing at it, they've showed great composure. They really have. And I said they've had to suffer at times, and there's been balls fizzing across the face of goal, and they've had to make clearances. Liam Kelly's been cut out of position a couple of times, but they've really stuck together. It's a real performance of a team who are feeling good about themselves after the win at Livingston on Wednesday night. When you go so long without wins and you don't win many games, when you do get one, suddenly it gives you a little jolt of confidence. Coming here, taking the lead, getting pegged back, going ahead again, that all adds to it. So it's all about now game management. Try not to sit back. It's easy to say, but when you're on the pitch and you're starting to look at the clock and you're thinking about 3 points, but Rangers will have to force the issue. You'll have to overcommit. Can Motherwell pick them off? I think that looks like it's going to be the most likely way if Motherwell are to get a third, but Rangers really need to get the equaliser soon.
Yeah, no doubt at all about that. Could be a big moment of the title race there at Ibrox this afternoon. Steve will bring us all the news from that one. Let's get back to Easter Road. What's happening there, Billy?
Hibs are trying to kill it off, Kenny. Great play there, and Dylan Levitt raked a 60-yard pass out to the right-hand side. It was cut back, and it was just beyond Adam Lafondra, just behind him, and he was just tapping into the net. They're trying to kill it off. County still going at it as well, creating a few openings, not opportunities, so it's not done just yet.
Spurs have come from behind at home to Crystal Palace. Christian Romero with a goal there. Spurs 2, Crystal Palace 1. Let's get back to Paisley, Willie. What's happening for the home side there? Are they applying some pressure?
They're struggling. They're struggling in terms of creativity. They've had plenty of the ball, but in and around the Aberdeen box, they haven't really created many opportunities, if any, in the second half, to be perfectly honest. Kenny, Aberdeen are looking a really confident side. They haven't been able to say that on too many occasions this season, but particularly their back four. They'll now get McGarry on as well, just out in the wide on the left hand side to help that back four. But Angus MacDonald, Stefan Garteman, really solid and ably assisted by Jensen and Devlin, and Roos has looked okay as well, although he hasn't been tested in too many occasions. It's been primarily the back four that's defended extremely well. So answer to your question, they haven't created much in the second half. It's looking like Aberdeen could go on to win this game, which would be a major relief.
Brian Rice has just been yellow carded. The referee came over and had a word with him. He was about to walk away. Brian's clearly said something and he's turned back and given coach a yellow card. So
not an easy bench to deal with that. Brian Rice, Davy Martindale, and then another dugout you got Craig Levine. It's not going to be quiet, is it?
No, not at all. But honestly, the game's not been great, but Davy won't care. He won't care a jot if he gets the 3 points here. And the team, they deserve it. They're fighting for each other. You can actually see the fight and the determination, and something that I'm afraid is sadly lacking today with St Johnstone.
Chelsea have equalised with Brentford 2 apiece there, and the League 1 leaders League 2 leaders Stenhousemuir are ahead away at Bonnyrigg Rose. That goal scored by Matthew Aitken on 82 minutes. So Bonnyrigg Rose 0, Stenhousemuir 1. They are well clear at the top of the table despite that shock defeat against Clyde last weekend. So let's continue round the grounds. Let's get back to Rory there. It's a real uphill struggle now for the Wayside, Rory.
You would think so, but Kilmarnock have actually been pretty good since the penalty and the red card for Lewis Mayo. They're not having to soak up pressure at times from Dundee, but they look quite dangerous on the counter attack. I don't think they're out of this by a long shot just yet. If Dundee were to get a third, then that might kill things off. But
here's a chance for Livy to clear it, to win it. Oh, what an effort that is. Guthrie, it's poor play for Considine. He takes a touch on the halfway line.
Johan Levitt, goal! 2-0. The game is done. It looks like Hibs they've just killed them off because Ross County are trying to press forward. They're caught open, and when it's played out to the right hand side, it's just played into Levitt. He's about the penalty spot. He takes a touch. He's been brilliant since he's come on. He's stuck it in the bottom corner. It looks like game over. It's Hibs 2, Ross County 0.
He makes that look really easy.
He does.
Billy,
His first touch it was, wasn't
lovely.
it?
Sets him up really well. Just doesn't lash it. I see so many players now looking to try and take the leather off the ball when they're in those areas, but he just side foots it. Really composed, really cultured finish.
Montrose 4, Allo Athletic 3. Graham Webster has Montrose back in front there. That goal coming on 86 minutes. Let's get back to Ibrox. What a story is developing there, Stephen Craigan.
Yeah, there certainly is, Kenny. And I just expected to see a little bit more urgency about Rangers. You know, there's been so many underhit passes, overhit passes, giving up possession when there's no pressure on them, taking risks that don't need to be taken, and the players look a little bit flat. You know, this is a side chasing down a title. They should be hounding Motherwell down. They should be really forcing them back, driving forward, running about, but they're not. I wouldn't say they've accepted their fate, but it's as if they're hoping someone's going to spark them into life. They're hoping someone's going to grab the game and be the inspiration, as opposed to just saying, let's get after Motherwell. Motherwell are a team who have won, 3 games in the last 24 league games, coming to Ibrox. They shouldn't be coming and being as comfortable as what they are with 4 or 5 minutes to go. Listen, there's no doubt they'll have chances. They may well get an equaliser. They may well win the game. But at 87 minutes, I expected to see a little bit more from Rangers, put it that way.
And you were saying earlier on that Philippe Clement was getting quite animated in the touchline. Stephen, what's it like at the moment?
Well, when there's a pass that goes out of the picture, someone makes a mistake, he's waving his arms, he's trying to encourage him, he's wanting to try and keep going. So he's trying to drive it from the sideline, but the players aren't responding on the pitch as it stands.
They just look as if they've ran out of ideas, Craigs, how to break Motherwell down. And when you take the likes of Cortez out the side, McCausland obviously came off early on. I know Silva, you said, made a difference when he came in, but they've not got any real natural width. Nobody really committing players. Everything they look like are forcing centrally, and Motherwell's structure, as I touched on earlier on, I think it's been really good underneath the ball. And what a job Theo Bairey's done up top, because a couple of times I've caught Motherwell with the structure underneath it, but they've just turned it into a channel. But he's so good at being ball side and using his physicality to get his side up the pitch.
Leanne, I said it earlier that Connor Golson is frightened of him. He doesn't know where to stick, he doesn't know where to go tight, to drop off. No matter what he does, Theo Bairey seems to get the better of him, and John Sewell's a little bit tentative to go close, thinking he might do that to me as well. So Golson's been a little bit isolated. I hate saying that about defenders, but I think he's looked his age today. He really has struggled.
He's looked off it.
And that pace in behind that Baird has really made it uneasy for him.
Alan Troughton has another goal for his
save, sorry, John Lynch. Oh, another save. Liam Kelly losing with the shot from 20 yards. Kelly down to his right hand side. It was cleared to the edge of the box. Ridvan had the shot and Liam Kelly tipped it over. Rangers really cranking it up.
He's had some stick this season, I think rightly so at times, but my goodness, that was 2 big saves there.
It was, and he's been good this afternoon. He's been good in the big moments. You're right, Ken, he's had a couple of games where he's made mistakes, but he looks like he's having a good one this afternoon.
what is it the night Willie if Aberdeen win? Is it a glass of red wine and the Betamax copy of the Cup Winners' Cup final on? Or are you going out to paint the town red?
He's getting double time today, Alan. He's in the studio from 5:30.
So he is, I forgot. Sorry, Will.
Yeah,
I'll be listening.
Yeah.
Well, my game will not be finished by that point. But
I think it'll be the Super Cup, and then I might just go to bed thereafter.
Yes, Steve.
Connor Goldson, he hasn't been great at one end defensively, but he should have equalised. Great cross from Ridwan Yilmaz. Once again this afternoon, some of his crosses have been absolutely terrific. Goldson 10 yards out, free header, should score, puts it wide.
Yeah, it's a big chance gone. Big chance gone. See Liam Kelly on the grass as well. Craig, did he get back up there? I don't know if he just wrong-footed himself.
Yeah, Liam, when they play against the big teams away from home, likes to take his time and drink his water and roll about the grass.
Right, okay.
But, as you know, you can't restart the game without a goalkeeper, so he can take his time.
Yeah,
game management.
Off the crossbar from Michael Mellon on the edge of the box. That would have finished the game. Thunderbolt of a strike with the laces. Foot right through it, off the bar. Ricochets out. Dundee with a bit of pressure, but I still got a wee feeling Kilmarnock aren't out of this yet, although it is still 2-1 to Dundee.
Stirling Albion have equalised away at Queen of the South, 2 apiece there. Dale Carrick with the equaliser on 89 minutes. I gave you that goal for Alan Troughton. They are 3-1 up East Fife away at Spartans this afternoon.
8 minutes at Ibrox, sorry, 8 minutes added on.
My goodness, that's going to be testing for Motherwell, albeit the home side have been poor this afternoon. Motherwell very, very good, but it's going to be a real challenge now for the away side to hang on there at Ibrox. Spurs have come from behind, 3-1 up now at home to Crystal Palace. Son with a goal on 88 minutes. They're of course pushing for a spot in the top 4, Ange Postecoglou's side. So where are the games finally balanced? Let's get back to... Oh my goodness.
Sorry, off the line, Paul McGinn. Cross from James Tavernier. 4 or 5 players went for it. Fabio Silva heads. It looks like it's dropping in. Paul McGinn just headed it off the line.
Wow, right, full-time score, Kelty Hearts 0, Hamilton Accies 5. Let's get back to Willie at the Smythe Stadium. Willie?
Yeah, it's looking like Aberdeen are going to take the full 3 points, Kenny. It's been a real struggle for St Mirren in the second half. I might have, what has he got, 4 minutes added on, so there's still time, but it would have to be something special. They haven't created any opportunities in the second half, even though they dominated the ball, and Aberdeen are looking pretty solid at the back. But there is still time. There is still time as the ball gets played into the box. But again, it's cleared by that back four. They've been pretty solid. So I'd have to say at this moment in time, it's looking like an Aberdeen victory. But certainly St Mirren have had plenty of the ball, not done enough with it in the second half, and they're struggling to break down that Aberdeen defence.
Yeah, Connor Barron with that goal in the first minute. You can watch it on Sports Scene this evening. An absolute belter into the top corner there. My goodness, Neil Warnock and these Aberdeen fans needed something positive. They are on course for all 3 points in Paisley this afternoon. Let's get back to Alan. I know you're a wee bit behind in the game there, Alan, but anything at all from the home side? I think he's had enough. I think he's just got. He's had his Kit Kat and he's away down there.
No, I'm still here.
All right, what's happening?
We came back, nothing really. There's another player injured. I'm literally telling you, this game's going to go on till, I would say, 5:15. It's ridiculous. The amount of players that are going down injured.
It'd be all right if it was a decent game as well, wouldn't it?
It's terrible. This is one of the ones where you want no added on time. It's been really poor.
Full-time score in the Championship, Airdrie 1, Queen's Park 1. Let's get back to Billy. In terms of Ross County this afternoon, concerning times for the fans there, Billy. Fairly comprehensively beaten this afternoon.
You're always concerned when you're down the bottom. They've shown glimpses today. They had to dig in at times. They created a couple of opportunities. To win games, they're going to have to play a wee bit more expansive, but it's difficult to come to Easter Road and play like that at times. They've made it tough, but they've shown a fight and a spirit that will carry them forward to hopefully stay out that relegation playoff spot, but it's going to be tough for them. They've struggled at times today, and then they've looked okay at times. That's it, Kenny. It's finished. It's finished here. Hibs to Ross County now.
Thanks,
Kenny. They're checking for a penalty for St Mirren here. The free kick was given, and from where I am, it's a far side to my right hand side as you're sitting in the stand, and it's the free kick's been given outside. The referee has placed it very close to the line. So, you know, it's taken an awful amount of time for them to actually go through this and check it. You would think it would be straightforward in terms of a line judgment call, whether it was inside the box or outside the box. And it goes on. It goes on and on and on. So I can't tell you what the decision is made. All I can tell you is that they're checking something. It looks like a penalty. I haven't heard any announcement. The referee is still waiting to get some guidance from the VAR officials. You can maybe hear in the background the fans not being too happy with the hold up that we've got here. 4 minutes added on.
Full time at Firhill.
We're well into that.
Yes, Chuck.
Full time at Firhill. It is Paradise 1, Dundee United 1. So United just creep 1 point ahead of Red Rovers at the top of the league. It was an early goal for Brian Graham. William Malt with the equaliser in the second half, and it's all square at Firhill. It's Paradise 1, Dundee United 1.
Right, big result there. Unfortunately, Willie, we can't help you. We're just seeing the same pictures. We're just looking across at the referee. That's all we're seeing.
Just the time, Kenny. It's taken.
A huge, and actually in terms of time, late on could be a big moment at Ibrox. Stephen Craig.
Yeah, James Tavernier has a free kick about 27-28 yards from goal. Very similar distance that he had on Wednesday night at Kilmarnock. And Liam Kelly, identical free kick.
Penalty! Wow. Sorry, Craig, the penalty's been given. The penalty's been given for St Mirren. So after such a long wait, a couple of minutes there that we had to wait for VAR to make that decision, the referee Nick Walsh points to the spot, and St Mirren have got the opportunity to place a major blow in Aberdeen, a real sucker punch.
Yeah, Nicky Devlin absolutely furious there. Nothing came of that free kick, Stephen.
No, nothing, Kenny. You can hear silent in the background, frustration. James Tavernier got far too much on it, went for the top corner, out for a goal kick.
Right, before Willie gives us that penalty, so Annan have equalised in the 94th minute away at the leaders. Falkirk, Queen of the South 2, Stirling Albion 2, full time.
Chance! Goal! St Johnstone have equalised, and it's Nicky Clark. It's a great ball in the box, and Clark finds himself in between the two centre halves. It's a downward header into the back of the net. 86 minutes to the clock. St Johnstone 1, Livingston 1.
I think a lot of us couldn't understand why he wasn't getting a game. Now, as a man that was a standout for a lot of last season. Mark O'Hara stepping up. He was very reliable from the spot, Willie. A lot of people said last week, a lot of you pundits said last season he would be a candidate for Player of the Year. We knew he wasn't going to win it. He had an outstanding season. This is a massive moment for St Mirren and for Aberdeen.
Huge for both clubs, isn't it?
Chance, it's a goal!
Calm.
Yes. It's a goal for Kilmarnock. It's an equaliser, and it's Robbie Dees. He takes the face mask off. It's a ball in from Gary Mackay-Stephen from a corner. It drops in the box. He's Johnny on the spot, and he rolls it into the back of the net. It's 2-piece.
Yeah, never really in doubt, Willie. My goodness, that's a huge moment there at this Meister.
Oh, unbelievable. They've created absolutely nothing in the second half. Plenty of the ball, but Mark O'Hara keeps himself calm, gets himself really set, puts it to his left-hand side, low. Roos dives the right way, but nowhere near it, ends up in the back of the net to give St Mirren, who have dominated the second half, an equaliser.
There's a check here, but the goal's been given. Don't know what the check was for.
Possible offside maybe, Alan, but it's well on.
Nah, look, well on.
Well on. It's a really good header. He just knows his way to goal, Nicky Clark.
Yeah, it comes in and he knocks it back the way it came. Wrong foot in the keeper, no chance for
Still time for a winner there. That goal coming in the 87th minute. And my goodness, just looking at the clock, the 96th minute, that equaliser from the penalty spot. A really cool penalty, Ian, wasn't it, from Mark O'Hara?
Really good, yep. Quite a slow run-up, actually. Just takes his time, executes it really well, though.
Full-time Clyde 2, Elgin City 1, following up that great win over the leaders last weekend. Stranraer 0, Falkirk 0, Brentford 2, Chelsea 2, Falkirk 1, Annan 1.
Possible handball for the Kilmarnock equaliser, Kenny.
Oh, right, OK, you'll keep us updated on that one, Rory. West Ham United 3-1 now. 3-1 up now away at Everton. Alvarez with that goal on 95 minutes. So that goal coming through at Dens Park.
It's a sign for St Mirren. They've done it.
Wow.
Cross into the back post. It's a sub, I'll tell you who it is in a minute. It's headed down by Mandron. The support staff are on the ground. They're jumping on top of each other. It's quite incredible.
Goal given, 2 apiece at the ends.
It's been turned round. Who was it who got the final touch?
Olasanya, just the player, Willie, as you can see, is at the bottom of a pile of other players there. It's incredible. Wow.
27 years, 38 games. There's been a 7-0, a 6-0. Motherwell will be twisting and shouting tonight. Rangers 1, Motherwell 2.
Huge result there, and a hugely dramatic ending in Paisley. Will incredible.
Olasanya gets the final touch. The header down by Mandron. Olasanya there to put it high into the roof of the net. Oh, dearie me. That has ripped the heart out of the Aberdeen fans, that's for sure. They thought they were on a victory.
Simple added 10 minutes added on here.
Right,
to make it 18 in total.
Do you know what?
Go and sum all that up, please, Kenny.
I mean, this is incredible. So just to give you, let's start. So as Stephen said there, a historic win. Fair play to Motherwell. Great result for them at Ibrox, beating Rangers by 2-1. Let me give you the goal times at Pittodrie at the Smythe Stadium. Aberdeen went ahead in the first minute. A wonderful strike from Conor Barron. Mark O'Hara in 96 minutes in the penalty spot, 1 apiece. A minute later, Olasanya with the winner. He was very best players there. Huge celebrations from his teammates there. An incredible scoreline. Are they still playing there, Willie?
Still going on, yeah. Still going on, Kenny. There was 4 minutes added on. So we're still playing that, and Aberdeen trying to, get something out of this game. It's desperate defending, actually, because Aberdeen just throwing everyone forward. And you can imagine, St Mirren got everyone back, just trying to see these last few minutes out. But they're on the attack now, and it looks as though from absolutely nowhere, that St Mirren have turned this game around. It didn't look as though they could conjure up a chance in the second half with all the ball that they had, and then all of a sudden, late on, well into injury time, they've managed to score 2 goals. Quite incredible, but I never say die attitude. Stephen Robinson will be absolutely delighted with the effort his players and the belief that his players have shown towards the end of this game. As for Neil Warnock, well, he won't believe what he's just witnessed. It'll be interesting to hear what he says after the game. I'm sure we'll all be delighted to hear what he's got to say in this one about soft goals. But there you go, into time added on, 2 goals for the home side, and it looks as though they're going to take the 3 points.
Still here for you, Willie.
Can't believe it.
Remember, Willie, you're not alone here. Don't worry, I'm still at the end of the phone for you, pal.
He's still got to come in here and do it till 7 o'clock, and I can tell we've got some Aberdeen fans joining him, so that's going to be really, really interesting. Actually, one of the Aberdeen fans, well, I've just invited him on, okay? Just so you know, to give you a wee heads up. Gary Foss, the Aberdeen fan. Miller and most of you so-called pundits never give Neil Warnock a fair crack.
Martin now, Inverness, Cali Thistle 2.
Yeah, big shot there. So Gary has been invited on. We'll see if he takes us up on that offer, but he doesn't certainly think a lot of Willie and actually all of us in the Sports Sound team this afternoon. But my goodness, his big concern should be with his team. They couldn't finish off St Mirren this afternoon, and I can see the pictures coming into the studio here. My goodness, the St Mirren fans on the far side there, Willie. Huge celebrations.
Oh yeah, that's it, Kenny. That's it. The game is over, and from nowhere, St Mirren have managed to turn this game around. Quite incredible. 2-1 to St Mirren. Aberdeen players down on the ground, holding their heads. Can't believe that they couldn't hold on to that 1-0 lead, but they couldn't, and the Aberdeen fans are sent home in a very, very depressed mood, whereas the St Mirren fans are delighted, enjoying it, celebrating. They're out there on the pitch, the players, the support staff, the management team, hugging each other, enjoying the moment, or the moments, as they scored these 2 late goals. Incredible scenes here in Paisley.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely incredible, and surely now they will seal back-to-back top 6 finishes. What a job Stephen Robinson is doing there in Paisley. What a comeback. Conor Barron in the first minute. It's a great goal. Watch it on Sports Team tonight. That in the first minute. Mark O'Hara from the penalty spot, 96. Olasanya with the winner just a minute later. But my goodness, the story of the day has been at Ibrox. Rangers 1, Motherwell 2. Theo Bair with the opener in 9 minutes. He had a great game there. As Stephen Craigan said, he gave Connor Goldson a torrid time all afternoon. James Tavernier equalised in the penalty spot in 60 minutes. Like the feeling was Rangers were going to win the game, but Motherwell really created some big chances himself, and Dan Casey at the back post in 75 minutes got the winner from Stuart Kettlewell's side. We'll hear from both managers in that game. So still playing Dens Park, Rory?
Yeah, still playing. Dundee have got a corner. Kilmarnock have been great since they've had the the man sent off and went down 2-1. They've obviously equalised, and I think they deserve that equaliser. It's been a fairly even game overall. Be interesting to see how this corner plays out. Unbelievably, if this does finish like this, every single league game between these two will have finished 2 each this season, with goals, 4 goals coming in the 90 plus minute. I've been at a few of them. We quite happily come to this fixture every week. Nothing comes of the corner though. It's 2 each at the moment, but still no full-time whistle at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think they'll beat that day down. The last minute Joe Shaughnessy at Rugby Park, that was an absolute belter. These two sides, as Rory said, put on some great games for us this afternoon. Still playing in McDermott, Alan.
Yeah, I've still got about 4 minutes to go, Kenny, the 10 added on. I think Davey will be kicking himself, he really will. To be fair to Craig Levein, he's chucked bodies on to try and get people up the park, and there's a great header from Nicky Clark. It's not finished yet. Livingston are still coming forward, and they've won themselves a free kick just outside the box on the right hand side. The fans are demanding that Livingston go forward. The draws are no good to them now, as far as I'm concerned. They're finding it really, really difficult to see games through. Midweek again, they were 1 up, lost the game 3-1, 1 up today, 1-1 at the moment. They need to turn these draws into victories.
Full time at Dens Park, thoroughly entertaining game, finishes 2 apiece.
But there's some boos in the background, Rory. No.
No, I don't.
No, I thought I heard something there.
Somewhere.
There were boos somewhere.
Quite possible. I mean, Gary Mackay-Stephen came on and got stinking every time he touched the ball for the boos. But I mean, how long ago did he play with Dundee United?
They don't forget.
And the cheer that went up at half time when they read out the Partick Thistle Dundee United score was 1-0 at Partick, was one of the biggest of the day, even though they've scored 2 goals themselves.
Gideon Morton 0, Inverness Cali Thistle 2. That's a huge result for Duncan Ferguson's side in the Championship. A big blow for Dougie Imrie, of course. They have been on a terrific run of form. They've got that cup game coming up, of course, at home to Hearts. So still playing in the game at McDermott Park. A lot of extra time being played there. Just looking at the live table as things stand. Livingston 17 points, Ross County 23, Aberdeen 27, St Johnstone 28. So all to play for in terms of playoff spot, but you really have to worry now, Alan, for Livingston.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really, really difficult for them to get out of this predicament. Games are whittling down and they're not closing the gap. That's the thing. They've closed it on Aberdeen with 1 point, but Aberdeen I don't think are a danger for automatic relegation. Just as I say, that's going to be another booking here. Yeah, there is. It's going to be Curtis Guthrie for a heavy challenge on Sprangler. St Johnstone are trying to get the ball into the box. Mitov's out, going to take this, and he's going to launch it into the box. Craig Levein wants to try and win this game. You've only started to play the last 10 minutes where they got that equaliser from Nicky Clark. But, as I say, I feel sorry for Davey because his side gave a hell of a lot in that opening 80 minutes, but they just couldn't keep the clean sheet.
Yeah, he'll be absolutely gutted. There have been so many occasions this season I've watched him on the touchline. He just can't quite believe they haven't had some results he felt they deserved this season. It's been really, really tough for him. Actually, all campaign, I think we always thought, given his experience, given the job that he's done there, he would get them out of it, but he's really struggled to do that. So still playing there in that game. Lots of full-time scores coming in. That was an incredible game at Dens Park. Dundee 2, Kilmarnock 2, Morton 0, Cali Thistle 2. A full-time scoreline in the Championship for you this afternoon. Full-time in the English Premier League, and it's a big one. Nottingham Forest 0, Liverpool 1. And that incredible game that we witnessed at the Smythe Stadium. Willie's on his way back to the studio. We've got Aberdeen fans joining us. What on earth will they have to say this evening? I'm trying to get the fan on that's been giving us stick. We'll see if he joins us. It finished St Mirren 2, Aberdeen 1. In England, Everton 1, West Ham United 3. And also down in England, just looking for actually Scotland, Dunfermline 2, Ayr United 0. A great win for James McPake's side. Chris Hamilton on 42. Chris Kane with the second right on the stroke of half time there. So a big win in the Championship this afternoon. It was a big game at Firhill. Finished Partick Thistle 1, Dundee United 1. Brian Graham with the opener on 3 minutes. Louis Moult with equaliser on 67. Terrific result for Inverness Cali Thistle 2-0 away at Morton. Billy Mackay and Sean McAllister, both goals coming in the first half there, and it finished 8-1.
He's wrestled down a chance to win it for Livingston. Square it! Oh, he doesn't square it. Still here. Holt! No! What an opportunity to win it for Livingston. Yengi, he's got to square it to Jamie Brandon. He just outmuscles Considine. And you think, just roll it square. It's a tap in. Takes an extra touch. Defender gets back. That's the chance. Oh no.
Is that all no in terms of thinking the reception he's going to get in the dressing room, Alan?
Oh, well, I wouldn't want to be him, exactly.
He's actually done well for them recently as well, though, hasn't he, Tete Yengi?
He has, he's done very well, but he just didn't pick his head up. It was a square ball to Brandon, and he had a tap in the back post.
He tries to square it in the end, Alan, but it's too late. Too late.
I can see actually pictures coming in from the Smythe Stadium. So the row second from back, we've got Gianni Infantino. Right behind him we have Dave Cormack, the Aberdeen
there's a shout.
chairman, and
there's
also
a shout there. Sorry, Ken, there's a shout there for a penalty.
Right, okay.
It's a diagonal ball played into the box, and it's Nicky Clark. He's thumped in the back. The referee waves play on. We'll wait and see if it will be checked, but not given. I don't think it was, but. And there we go. There's the full-time whistle. 1-1.
And a few boos in the background there as well, unless my ears are deceiving me. So, my goodness, we have brought you some incredible games on Sports Sound this afternoon. All the reaction to come. We will hear from the managers, we'll hear from the fans. Willie Miller and John Robertson will join us in the studio. There'll be plenty to discuss tonight, so stay with us on BBC Radio Scotland. That's coming up right after the news at 8 minutes past 4.